Quickly down. Aristode, another three. Oh, this is incredible. Dwayne Aristode is sixth. Lexus of Tucson Charity 3.
I mean, this is what I know. From what I heard, Arizona fans need to get out and buy some tickets. There's a lot of tickets available for this game. This isn't like the Vegas deal. So all our alumni in Southern California, we need you. We need you guys to come out there. I mean, LA is a tougher market, you know. I mean, when we play in Phoenix or we play in Vegas, we kind of know what kind of crowd to expect. LA can be a little tougher. So, you know, we need our fans to get online, buy their tickets, and come out and cheer their Wildcats on Friday night.
It is basketball night in Los Angeles, California. Tommy Lloyd, he is becoming the mandate head coach. Get your ass to the football game. Get your ass to the basketball game. He is demanding of this fan base. And the Wildcats will renew their rivalry tonight against the UCLA Bruins in the second game of the Hall of Fame Series Los Angeles Classic, as the Wildcats and Bruins, former rivals in the Pac-12, will play for a second consecutive year as members of new conferences. Welcome to Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. I'm David Kelly, joined as always by, we've got in studio with us, John Madden. JW Madden is here, and we also have the captain, Kelvin Ifan, and we've got you for the next 3 hours. Let's let you know what we've got in store for you on our show today.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, we will review what happened here in Tucson on Tuesday night. The Wildcats with an 84-49 win over Northern Arizona. We'll recap that game for you. We'll dive into our first look at UCLA, brought to you by Window Depot. Your scouting report is sponsored by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. We'll give you a taste of what to expect from this 15th-ranked Bruins team that the Wildcats will face tonight. DK with TL, a little something different for you because I haven't had a chance to get in front of the head coach in quite a few weeks. He doesn't necessarily always have the same type of press conference schedule that we do get with Brent Brennan. But we'll talk to you about what we've got coming up for you in DK with TL. Pest of the game, who will be that Bruin that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin? What did Tommy say a few weeks ago? The thorn in our side, pest of the game, thorn of the game, potentially, as Tommy put it. Who will be that Bruin? We'll let you know that as well. A view from courtside. We'll head out to Los Angeles. Bruce Pascoe from the Arizona Daily Star is on hand for the game tonight. He'll give you a preview of what to expect. Can we beat the book? U of A is actually favored in the game. As you would imagine, they are the number 5 team in the country. They are a 1.5-point favorite over the Bruins. Your over-under tonight is 154.5. Spotlight on a cat. We'll chat with Dwayne Aristode, the freshman who put up the top scoring performance in the win over NAU. It was a pretty impressive victory over Northern Arizona on a Tuesday night at McHale Center. You heard Dwayne Aristode, 18 points on 6 3-point shots. 5 of those came in the second half of the ball game. Let's hear from Dwayne Aristode on whether he did not take a shot. Before we hear from him, he did not take a shot until 9 minutes into the game against Utah Tech. So he didn't take a shot in the game, the opening game against Florida. Didn't take a shot until 9 minutes into the game against Utah Tech. And he was asked if maybe scoring opportunities weren't there for him in the first 2 games.
Nah, every opportunity presented to me, it's just a change of mindset. Obviously, we can make excuses that I didn't play a whole year and trying to get my rhythm back, but, enough of that. Coach wanted me to be aggressive, so it was time I start being aggressive.
Once you started hitting those shots, did it just feel like you just couldn't miss?
Yeah, I just found my rhythm. I was just hooping. I had nothing to worry about. Just shooting, man. Just playing basketball.
And guys, what you heard him, what I heard at least him say there is that the coach maybe put a little something in his ear that, it's time to shoot the basketball. Maybe you're out there playing, you're in your first part of your college career, potentially being a little bit timid in the opening part of his career was Dwayne Aristode, and I think that maybe that's the message that he got. We'll hear from Tommy Lloyd coming up a little bit later on that as well. But let's hear from Tommy Lloyd right now on Dwayne Aristode's first big game as an Arizona Wildcat.
Just had to kind of find his way, I mean, all these guys have obviously had moments, in our preparation and our build this offseason to get ready for these games, and but unfortunately, you don't get instant results, and so you got to be able to hang with a little bit and get some experience under the lights. So I expect all of our guys to continue to improve, and so I'm glad Dwayne had a little bit of a breakthrough, and I'm sure other guys are right on the precipice to follow.
Dwayne, are you seeing in practices, are you seeing him shoot like that or other things?
He hasn't made a shot in a month. It was crazy. I mean, he's a good shooter. I mean, I don't know what kind of question that is. Yes, I just said all of our guys have earned their opportunities over the course of the summer. He's a really good shooter. He just needed a few games to get comfortable. I don't know what it's going to be like on Friday, but today he was great. I think that's a big step forward for him.
So are you seeing other things from him in practice?
Dwayne's really growing in all areas. Defensively, he's really growing. I think he's getting a better understanding of what we're looking for on offense besides making shots. I think he's just got to figure that out a little bit. And I had a very direct conversation with him during the game about what I expected, and you know what? And I'm not taking any credit for it, but whatever was said, he responded to, and it was very impressive the way he did it.
So there you go, guys. Maybe the coach saw a player that was maybe deferring a little bit too much, and Tommy had to get in his ear and say, "Hey, it's time for you to try to get some of yours." I mean, you've seen your teammate Braden get some of his. You've seen your teammate Koa get some of his. Go out and get some for you.
It's a good problem to have, DK, when you have young players come in with talent that aren't looking to call their own number all the time. However, there's always that moment where you need those young players to take shots. I always talk about it, DK, when you have an open three, you need to take it these days for spacing to keep defenses honest, because a lot of the offense from this Arizona Wildcats team is going to be penetration and post-ups. So when you have three-pointers, and especially a guy like Dwayne Aristode, who clearly has a really nice tight stroke and it's repeatable and it's fluid, the year off, you never know like what that does to a player's confidence, but he needs to take those open looks, DK. That's what he's there for.
Kelvin, what do you think about that? No, I'm not sure we have Kelvin on the line at the moment here. We're having some issues.
I think Kelvin's having some phone issues right now, but we'll get him on as soon as we can.
We'll get back to Kelvin for sure. But I did hear the phone ring, so if you want to get in, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is our number if you'd like to interact with the pregame show by way of call or text. Jaden Bradley impressed with the 18-point scoring performance by one Dwayne Aristode.
Dwayne, he's all over the court, dunking and getting steals. He's our energy guy, and when he comes in, we know he's capable of hitting threes like that, and I'm just excited for him that he showed the world today that he could do a little bit of everything.
We've heard the term chief energy officer mentioned on the football team as it relates to Genesis Smith playing on the backside of the defense. Perhaps Dwayne Aristode is going to be the chief energy officer for the Arizona basketball team. And again, he's a guy that's coming off the bench. And that's what you like to see from a guy that's coming off the bench, someone that can add something to that five when he gets into the ball game. I believe we do have Kelvin Ifan back. Kelvin, we were talking just about what Tommy Lloyd had to say a little bit earlier about maybe getting in the ear of one Dwayne Aristode early in the season because he was maybe being a little bit more timid than he would have liked to have seen, and he wanted to see him be a little bit more aggressive at the offensive end of the floor.
Well, what that means is that Coach Ho at practice.
All right, we lost Kelvin again. We'll have to try to get back with him coming up a little bit later. Right now, let's hear some more from Dwayne Aristode as he evaluates what happened in his first two games with the Arizona Wildcats.
I was still trying to get my body rhythm, but at the same time, can't make excuses for that. Just finding areas that I can make a difference, like defense, play hard defense, trying to make an impact on the ball. communicate, pass the ball quick, cut, get rebounds, just little things that I can do.
Yeah, there you go. Again, he's a young man that, like a lot of freshmen, just wants to fit in with this team. And sometimes those freshmen need a little bit of a push to find their way. That's the job of the head coach. And again, like Tommy said, it may not necessarily amount to much coming into this ball game, but it amounted to something the other night against Northern Arizona. 6 for 9 from three-point line. The 6 made three-pointers tied the Arizona freshman record. Dwayne Aristotle now in company with the likes of Mike Bibby, Salim Stoudemire, Jared Bayless, and a guy playing in the NBA by the name of Benedict Mathurin. So, and I think, did Salim play in the NBA briefly?
He did, yeah. In fact, I think he had a 40-point game with the Hawks.
Yeah,
he had one great game.
All 5 of those guys that Dwayne Aristotle is now in the company of have eventually played in the league. So that's good company to be with in just your 3rd game.
Yeah, Kelvin, what do you think about the Dwayne Aristotle's form on his 3-point jump shot?
That's where I was going with it, man. I think coaches saw his form. The teammates saw his form. I mean, it is perfect, straight up and down. You can see his lower body is real strong. And anybody know anything about shooting? Shooting comes from your legs, from your toes all the way up. And his base is great. He shoots straight up and down, a catch-and-shoot guy, which a lot of the NBA teams are looking for. Teams like U of A with the size, the big guys in there, they're all looking for it because shots are available when you got a guy that can catch it and let it go within that 1 second.
It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. We're getting you set for the Wildcats and the UCLA Bruins, the renewal of an old rivalry between these two programs. UCLA leads the all-time series 64-50. That means this will be the 115th meeting between these two programs.
Yeah, some of those were John Wooden versus Border Conference Arizona.
So we'll have to get the numbers
record in the
after
pack.
the pack.
I
yeah.
have the numbers in front of me. We'll get to it later.
All right, we'll get to that coming up a little bit later. We'll get our first break in here. When we come back, we'll take our first look at tonight's game, Arizona UCLA, and a whole lot more in store for you as we take you right up to 7:30 with network coverage. Brody Dryden on the call tonight in Los Angeles with Dad on the football side with the Wildcats in Cincinnati, and Matt Muehlbach in the analyst chair back where he started his broadcast career many moons ago. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, along with Calvin Efon and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Rightway is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 11,000 5-star Google reviews, you can trust Rightway to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Rightway today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Tired of your old ride acting like that one uncle who never starts on time? Trade him in at the Red Tag event at O'Reilly Used Cars. We've got Red Tag inventory and pricing on reliable pre-owned Chevys, trucks, and SUVs, and yes, we have inventory. Get Red Tag O'Reilly pricing and save big with holiday deals so good, even Santa's trading in his sleigh. Ho, ho, ho. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or shop 24/7 at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Used Cars. Together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Ugh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the neighborly done right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed.
Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a neighborly company.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
JT Auto, where their customers are family. Stop by their newest East Side location, conveniently located at 6947 East 22nd, just west of Cole. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guarantee, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where their customers are family. 372-7704. That's 372-7704. Or jtautoaz.com.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
Discover Rocking K, a community designed by nature, built for you. Embrace the beauty of the Rincon Mountains' high desert foothills. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park. Bordering Saguaro National Park, Rocking K is conveniently located to our region's major employers and nationally recognized Vail School District. Tour 10 model homes by 4 award-winning builders and discover why more people are calling Rocking K home. LiveRockingK.com. Proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Andrews down to the right wing. Checked by Bradley. 5 to shoot. Andrews, pull up, open 3 is no good. Long rebound, though, is loose down in the corner and grabbed by UCLA. And now they can run it out. Clark, it gets fouled. 6.1 to go.
It's time to take our first look at today's game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com.
Arizona, UCLA tonight in Los Angeles. It's the second game of the Hall of Fame series. The first game, a couple of other teams I'm familiar with. This is like worlds collide for me tonight. Game 1 will be Southern California, my alma mater, against Illinois State, the college town where I went to high school. And then you've got UCLA, the team I grew up loving in Los Angeles, against the Arizona Wildcats, the team I've covered now for 18 years. So all kinds of connections. I talked about the levers on Major League Baseball, the different levers of the playoffs. Well, that is exactly what I've got here tonight.
DK
with all 4 of these
Invitational.
teams. The DK Invitational. I like that for sure. Last year, Arizona had a lead against the Bruins in Phoenix in the first game of this new series. So they played last year in Phoenix. They'll play this year in Los Angeles, and then they'll take a year off before playing in Las Vegas the season after next. And those are the 3 games currently scheduled in the series. We'll hear Tommy Lloyd coming up a little bit later on the series itself, but He was asked about last year's loss and how, that might affect the mentality of the team going into this year's game.
Last year's game has nothing to do with this year's game. So, I mean, I don't even know, what is it? Don't lose a lead, I guess. I mean, I don't want to repeat that if we get a lead, but unfortunately, it's not that easy. Anytime we play UCLA, we know it's going to be a great challenge. I got a ton of respect for Mick. I mean, he's a really good basketball coach, and every time you play against him, the game's going to be physical. It's going to be gritty. That he and his staff are paying attention to the details. So you have to be prepared.
And JW, you said you had the numbers on since the Pac-10 days, what the record is between these two teams?
Well, not the overall record, DK, but what I do have is this. So Arizona was in the Pac for 45 years, Pac-10 into Pac-12. The U of A won 18 conference titles in those 45 years. The Bruins won 12. So that's 30 out of the 45 were won by these two teams. U of A finished second 8 times, and the Bruins finished second 9 times, DK. So that's literally 48 out of the 45 years. The U of A and the Bruins were first and second. They've competed over recruits, and they've always competed over the conference title. That's why, and generally, Kelvin, as top 10 teams, I mean, these are not two teams competing for a conference title that didn't have national implications, but two teams that have always been right there in the, firmly planted in the top 25 and competing over the Pacific Conference title year after year. And with UCLA's resume of 14 NCAA championships, Arizona always looked at them as a measuring stick. And Kelvin, going into Westwood like that and playing against the Bruins, I had to have a little bit of an extra energy to it.
It always had a little bit of extra energy because we always had the California guys who most of them, I ain't gonna say wanted to go to UCLA, but just say wouldn't mind getting recruited by UCLA. And with that little effect of those LA guys, I'm telling you, they was pumped up. They were different. The Reggie Garys, the Miles Simons, when I tell you they were excited when you had those games that you had to get excited for them. I wasn't naturally understanding of that game coming from Texas, but I understood real quick because Reggie Gary, again, and Miles Simon were just totally ready to go. And, every time we went into UCLA, it was always a great thing seeing Coach Wooden over there and just all the former big-name players.
Yeah, the U of A always had at least maybe a third of the roster from Southern California during that stretch as well. Only 2 California players on this year's team, because there's so much more international and East Coast recruiting. But back in those days when Lute was first getting the program started, 80s into 90s and early 2000s, it was always Southern California players on the roster.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And one guy that is familiar with the rivalry, although he hasn't necessarily played in it, is the guy that did all the scoring on Tuesday night, Dwayne Aristode. He saw firsthand the game last year against the UCLA Bruins.
I did. I was watching last year when I was hurt, the game that we were up by how much? 15, 20?
Yeah, it was up.
And, we just, 13, we'll let it slip away. But, I know the rivalry, so it's going to be a physical game. I look forward to it.
Being like a fan, what was that like watching that game?
So I was already committed by that time. As the time I was in the booth, I was pissed. We were up by 13. We let it slip away. And I know Coach wasn't happy, but so we got something for it on Friday.
What do you enjoy about a physical game?
Kind of tests your manhood. Who wants it more? It's a battle between great teams. Respective teams, both in the West. So it's a great rivalry.
Yeah, he wasn't even here, and he was pissed.
You got to love it, man. You got to love it. I mean, it just sounds like a competitor. Once he signed on the line, he was here. He was with them, and that's the way he saw it. So he was fired up. I can tell you what, he's going to be ready to go. That's for sure.
And for people who don't remember, it was a 49-36 lead by Arizona with 10-plus minutes to go, 10.5 minutes to go in that game. Arizona only scored 5 points in the last 10.5 minutes of that game. They lost 57-54, a 13-point lead with 10 minutes to go, guys, and kind of let it fall away. They just could not get buckets down the stretch of that game.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's, before we head to break here, we're going to go to break a little bit early so we can chat with the voice of the Bruins coming up here ahead of tonight's game. But before we do that, let's hear from Mick Cronin on what he feels like his team needs to do to beat Arizona.
Just curious, what do you think the team has to do to beat Arizona
on Friday. What do you need from these guys Friday to win that game?
You better be able to do hard things. You play at the high level. That was my message to them. You want to be successful in life, you better be ready to do hard things. That's one. And two, you want to play more, you got to play better than Johnny. So in Little League, everybody gets to play. Okay, this is pay for play. You want to play, you want to get a promotion, you got to be better than Ben, which I have no chance at writing. I'm not a writer. So you got to be better than somebody. It's a new thing though, you know, for kids that were just born better and they went to a high school where they're just better than everybody. They get to this level and it's a little harder to be better than everybody. You got to be better than the guy if you want to play over. Johnny's better than you, he's probably going to get to play. So you want to beat Arizona, better be better than them. That's number one. Number two, you better be to do some hard things because they bring the fight. That's why it's great to play them. They always bring the fight, man.
Got to be better than Johnny, and you got to be better than Ben, whoever those people are.
I think that's Ben Bolch he's talking about.
Probably.
He said, because he said, I can't write as good as Ben, so one would assume.
Is that what, I didn't hear that. I messed that part. Okay. All right. That is Arizona and UCLA. Much more coming up as we break it down until 7:30.
That's our first look at the game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindow.depot.com. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
And don't forget, also tonight, we will have Window Depot sponsors your glass cleaner of the game. It could be the Wildcat with the most rebounds. Could be the Arizona player who has the most impactful boards, your Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Who will it be? We will tell you at the conclusion of tonight's game on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. We're going to chat with the voice of the Bruins, Josh Lewin, live from the Intuit Dome. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, along with Kelvin Efon and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
Hold up. That wasn't Santa's sleigh. That was a Blazer EV flying off the lot at the Red Tag event at O'Reilly Chevrolet. We've got Red Tag pricing on the latest electric Chevys, and yes, we have the inventory. Get Red Tag O'Reilly pricing and supercharge your holidays with shockingly great deals that'll make your old gas tank jealous. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or shop 24/7 at O'Reilly.com. EVs at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. November is here, and if you've got holiday travel plans or you're just trying to cross town through the crazy road construction, Jack Furrier has great news with our biggest rebates of the year. Get back $160 to $220 on all Michelin brand tires, including smooth riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. Check out jackfurriers.com for even more November specials. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the local choice with great service and 14 award-winning locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Burries back out Yvonne. He'll try the three out there. High off the rim, no good. Privas, the offensive rebound. Working his way down on Palm with the left hand and score it.
Beautiful catch, rebound and finish there by Mo Krivas, going to that right shoulder for left hand. But once again, he's freeing up Arizona shooters to fire away from the three, knowing there's a good opportunity he'll get the offensive rebound.
Time now for a look at today's Wildcat opponent. The Scouting Report is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there.
And a familiar opponent indeed, the UCLA Bruins tonight in Los Angeles, the Hall of Fame series. Let's talk with the man who called the game on radio for the UCLA Audio Network. Josh Lewin is our guest. Josh, obviously the number one question everybody wants to know, what's the health of Donovan Dent? Is he going to play tonight?
Oh, yeah, no, he's fine. They just sat him out, very mild muscle strain, I guess is what they said for that nothing game against West Georgia. So I just wanted to rest him and make sure that everything was cool. But, he'll definitely play.
Huge, obviously, addition to this lineup this year. Coming off of the 3 fabulous years he had at New Mexico. Well, what was the attraction? Was this the kind of kid that fits, the system that Mick runs at UCLA?
Yeah, I think they knew they were basically 1 point guard short last year. Dylan Andrews certainly did his best, but wasn't a natural point guard. And, when it came time to play a veteran team like Tennessee, he was just over his skis when it came to the NCAA tournament. He goes up against a 24-year-old like Ziegler, and he just ate his lunch, So that was kind of a problem really the last couple of years. You don't realize, I guess, what you have in Tiger Campbell till he's gone. Seemed like he was there for 11 years, but when he finally left, it was like, wow, you got to do something. So that's the best guy that was in the portal by far, and he's a difference maker. He's fast and he's smooth. He's a leader. Because it's Mick Cronin, he's killing him to play better defense, and that's a tremendous matchup and opportunity tonight against Jaden Bradley. I think that's worth the price of admission right there. But that's precisely why Mick decided to make sure that Donovan came, because there is going to be a game against Arizona tonight. You're going to be taking on just a aurora borealis of other great point guards in this conference, starting with Braden Smith and Purdue all the way on down. So you need that to compete. You need a veteran, not a kid, and Donovan is all that.
You know, you mentioned obviously Purdue, and then that still sounds strange to me, having been somebody that grew up in a Pac-12 grad myself, and with the split of the conference and everybody kind of moving their own separate ways. In your words, how did year one go for this program in the Big Ten?
It was rocky. You know, I mean, I'm sure you guys had an adjustment too, you know, where you guys got pinballed too. And, you know, the sheer volume of geography, I think, weighed into a lot of calculus, right? Where there's just, you know, I think it's more daunting from a psychological perspective sometimes. Like, we're going where? You know, we're going how far? We're going how many time zones? So I think that was maybe the biggest adjustment is just, you know, I mean, watching a guy like Adai Mata, you know, who's 7'3", trying to stretch out and get comfortable on an airplane ride that takes not 1 hour anymore to Phoenix, but you're going 5 hours to Piscataway or wherever. So it was an adjustment. It's not an excuse, but it's definitely a new world we're living in.
It's your scouting report brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier since 1960 here to get you there. Obviously, we mentioned Donovan Dent coming in from New Mexico, some other transfers as well, but 4 guys coming back who were the primary, focus of that team last year, led by senior Tyler Bilodeau, who has been a thorn in the side of the Wildcats now at 2 different Pac-12, ex-Pac-12 programs. How did Tyler kind of assimilate into his new situation with UCLA, and has his role changed this year? Has he taken on more of a leadership role this year?
Yeah, I think a little bit, but I mean, more than that, it's sliding back to his more natural position at the 4. You know, we asked him to play the 5 last year, and it just did not go real well defensively. You know, when you're banging bodies with a Graham Ike or somebody like that, you know, at Gonzaga, it's just, you know, it's like, wow, that's kind of a mismatch. So as a 4, that's probably a better fit. They bring in Xavier Booker, who's always been a 4, but he certainly got the size to be the 5. So that's the big adjustment. Eric Daly can slide back to be the 3, more of a wing. And you've got Sky Clark to run in the backcourt with Dent. That's a really good veteran starting 5. So, are they deep enough beyond that? I'm not sure. We're about to find out, I guess. But everybody's kind of just changing a little bit for this year.
When you look at, obviously, you know, Mick Cronin and what he's been able to do there and the style that he plays, we were kind of talking about it the other day. You know, what do you believe, like, because in a world where you have so many kids that want to play fast, and that maybe just is not necessarily his style, what's the attraction there? Why do guys want to come play for him specifically? Is it the allure that, hey, this is UCLA? Is it that he gets guys to the league? Or from your standpoint of having been there for a while, what's the attraction that guys say, yeah, I want to go play for Mick, even though I know it's going to be maybe a different style than I might get at another school?
Oh yeah, I mean you're signing up to get your ass chewed out. You know, I mean he is going to ride you hard. But there's palm trees and ocean, and it's Westwood, and there's 11 banners hanging up there. So you know that's certainly part of it. But yeah, you hit on to me the why is very simple. I mean I think the best test case is Jaime Jaquez Jr. He was just killing it with the Miami Heat right now, and he was just an all-around sharpened NBA ready dude when Miami took him, and he's only gotten better since then. But that, I think that's why Donovan Dent was so happy to come, because it's, Mick told him what he didn't want to hear, which is that, if you go next level, let's say you're playing the Lakers, who are you going to be asked to guard? And, maybe someone like Austin Reeves. It's like, all right, well, are you ready to guard Austin Reeves? Do you know how to do that? And the honest answer is no, because in New Mexico, they just let him run the floor and, just score 27 points a night and do whatever he wanted, like it's AAU. And Mick just, he's like, look, I'm here to turn you into the best NBA prospect that you can possibly be. And, I think that's why it takes kind of a special kid. I mean, Sky Clark was like that too, where it's like, okay, iron sharpens iron. I want to get better. This guy is going to really ride me and just crank out the best version of me that I can be for NBA scouts. And you hopefully, like you say, look up at those 11 banners and want to be the one that adds the 12th. So that's the mix. To me, that's the sales pitch. And it's not for everybody. If you want to come and do your own thing and, chuck up 23 shots a game and, do some whirly-bird aerial dunks and not play defense, then he will not play you. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. But, all that stated, I think that with the Donovan Dent pushing this year, this has not been a fast break team ever under Mick since he's been here, and it's 7 years now. But now that you've got that horse for that course, I don't think we're going to see, what was last year's final, like 57 or 54,
right?
Something like that between the two teams. I don't think we're going to see that this year. I think that this team is built a little bit differently. They know they've got to score. They know they can run. So, it's not a death sentence. When you go to play for Mick, it's not like you're saying I'm never going to score 20 ever in my life again. But, yes, he's going to make you play defense, that's for sure.
Have you guys played at the Intuit Dome before?
Yeah, we played Gonzaga here last year in a great game and squeaked it out. And it's a beautiful place. I mean, it's a little intimidating, actually, how beautiful it is. But pretty fancy pants, this whole thing. But it'll be fun. There's an undercard that's just starting right now. USC and Illinois State are just about to tip, so we're all getting ready for that, and then we'll play ball after.
Outstanding. Well, hey, Josh, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us there from the arena. Have a great call and a good season in the Big Ten.
Best to you guys, and I'm sure you guys will keep killing it, too. You guys got a great team.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you in a bit.
That's your...
And that's the lowdown on the team U of A is about to face on the hardwood. The Scouting Report has been brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier since 1960. Here to get you there.
Our appreciations to Josh Lewin for taking a few minutes to join us from the Intuit Dome. He'll call the game tonight here. And guys, just thoughts on what he had to say there about in terms of a guy like Donovan Dent and I'll ask you, Kelvin, how long does it take? I mean, for a guy that maybe he's not ever played or been asked to play a lot of defense at a high level, how long does that maybe take to kind of to try to figure that out, especially if you're only really going to have one season under that head coach that you're asking to change that style of your game for you?
Yeah, no, I was thinking to myself, I said, yeah, them NIL deals be also bringing guys to sometimes the money be so good that you got to be like, you know what, I could deal with Mick for a year. But, when you're a guard like that, again, coming with such an offensive, people know how good you are offensively, I think that he's trying to get to a school and get around a coach that's going to hold him accountable. But with that being said, it's going to take some time. It's not something that happens overnight. You don't just learn to be a great defender overnight. So I think mid-season, because you have to get that chemistry with your teammates. And again, you're a transfer coming into a new culture and you're trying to figure it all out. It just takes some time.
Yeah, like Kelvin said, great players want to be challenged, first of all. And second of all, nobody transfers to UCLA without the desire, DK, to get better at defense. Because Cronin's reputation, this isn't the first year that Cronin's been a defensive first guy. Clearly, Dent wants to get better and wants to show the pros that whatever deficiencies they're seeing. He is a great facilitator. He's a great scorer. And all he really needs to do is show that he can guard. And so why would you not want to go somewhere when you're all-conference player of the year at New Mexico? Go to a place where a coach is going to challenge you and help you get better at those aspects of your game that you're lacking, in this case, defense. So I have no doubt he wanted to go home, play close to his family, DK, but he also wanted to get better at those things that NBA scouts are looking for.
Speaking of Donovan Dent, let's hear what Tommy Lloyd, the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, has to think about this new point guard for the UCLA Bruins. 224 assists last season he had playing for the New Mexico Lobos. Here is Tommy Lloyd on Donovan Dent.
Dynamic offensive player, great speed, really good in the pick and roll game, great passer, great finisher. Obviously, he was highly coveted by a lot of people, and then UCLA really wanted him, and they got their guys. So we're expecting him to be at the center of everything they do.
Early, but he didn't play last night, and Mick said he was banged up or whatever.
I got no inside information. I'm sure if he doesn't play, it makes a little difference, but we're not for 1 second gonna think that he's not gonna play. I mean he's gonna play Friday, and he's gonna probably play, as many minutes as he can stay on the court.
Kelvin, did you think he was not going to play tonight?
Yeah, come on now. Arizona, this is what the first game that he looked at. He's at New Mexico. He's probably been wanting to play Arizona forever, being a kid from California. That's the first name that he looked at, Arizona. Arizona. You don't even think about who the coach is when you see the type of teams that you're going to get a chance to play. Then you go back, okay, I got to deal with him. But, man, I get to play Arizona on the big stage.
Big players have got to play in these big games. But think about it. Coming from New Mexico, no disrespect to the Lobos program, but, Kelvin, how many top-tier, top 10 net ranking teams did the Lobos see in his 3 years on campus there? He went to UCLA to get better at defense, so we just talked about, but he went there to show what he can do against top-flight talent. Jaden Bradley's across the way. That scouts are going to be looking at that matchup and seeing what Dent does with it.
Donovan Dent so far this season averaging 17 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. And that is just in 2 games so far. As you heard, he did not play in the game against West Georgia earlier this week, a contest that UCLA won 83-62. They also have wins this year over Pepperdine by 11, and they beat Eastern Washington in their opener by 6 points. Tommy Lloyd this week was asked to describe a UCLA basketball team under Mick Cronin.
Tough, sound. They have a plan, and they stick to their plan. I don't know. Do you want to go X and O's with me? Are we want to hear it? But I don't know. I don't think you need any more description than that. Tough, solid. Well schooled in the fundamentals, have a plan and a conviction to stick with their plan. And whenever you play somebody that has those attributes, I don't care what they're running. It's going to be a tough game.
Well, how about the tempo, since he tends to play at a slower pace?
Yeah, I mean he's comfortable playing slower. I'm comfortable playing faster. It's always going to be a clash, But we know. We've got to probably be comfortable, playing in some slower games. Today's game was a slow game. It wasn't. There was a lot of long possessions, down at their end of the floor, and we even had a few on offense. And UCLA's got to probably be comfortable figuring out a way to win some games playing faster. You just kind of once the game plays out, we'll both kind of figure out, what we got to do to try to get our teams over the finish line.
Yeah, and it's again. Tommy's had to coach against Mick a number of times, and he's had some wins, 6-3. Against UCLA during his time here at the University of Arizona. So he knows how to have his teams adjust to that type of style. Wildcats beat the Bruins in both the 2022 and 2023 Pac-10 or Pac-12 tournament championship games, and they won the 2024 regular season title with a victory over the Bruins at Poly Pavilion. So Tommy very guys adjust to knowing what his team needs to do against him.
And think about it like this, it's bookended, right? Because Coach Lloyd lost his first game versus Cronin as the U of A coach and lost his last game versus the U of A coach. So it's really 5 out of the last 6 games that Arizona's been on the right side of the scoreboard. And that last game was so weird, Kelvin. I mean, like I said, U of A with the big 13-point lead, 10 minutes to go, only scored 5 points in the last 11 minutes of that game down the stretch. Just one of those worst-case scenarios where the ball just bounces the wrong way on every possession.
Yeah, no, I think the biggest thing is Arizona just has had better players than these guys. I mean, UCLA isn't getting the same type of guys that we're used to from back in the days when Coach Olsen was there. But and I think that has a lot to do with it, and the style of play. If Mick can't slow us down, they really don't have a chance and enough scoring to be able to keep up.
And it'll be like that, right, under Cronin, because he's not necessarily going to get looks from the top 5 combo shooting guards in high school basketball simply because of his slow-down style and defensive-first mentality. Kelvin, if a player wants to play 1 year in college and jump off to the NBA draft, UCLA right now under Cronin probably isn't that destination.
It isn't, but it is, because with that defensive mentality and the way that they run their set plays, that's how championship teams run in the NBA. So I still think, if you get a player with the talent, he can use that system to be real successful. We've seen guys be successful and slow down, and especially getting into the tournament and things like that. So I don't know. I just think a lot of it is a lot of these guys don't want to deal with Mick.
Yeah, well, it would take trust, right? Because Mick Cronin puts guys in the rotation who he trusts to run his system and run his sets. And we've seen that time and time again, year after year after year. You'll get big names come in there, and they won't get the minutes you expect them to get simply because they're not doing something behind the scenes. If it's something as simple as boxing out or diving for loose balls, I mean, you have to be that hustle-first guy to play for Coach Cronin and understand the sets and understand the communication. So, yeah, right now, the offense, like Kelvin said, that lineup, I mean, obviously, Dent, the transfer is great. Bilodeau can score, but maybe not quite the firepower as those mid-'90s Bruins teams had.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Call us or text us your thoughts on Arizona UCLA, memories of this rivalry that you might have, hopes for what you want to see out of tonight's game, the first of two tough games coming up on the schedule on the road for at least a neutral site technically tonight, as it'll be at the Intuit Dome, but in Los Angeles. And then the Wildcats will head to Storrs, Connecticut to take on the UConn Huskies. That game will be coming up on Wednesday. So back-to-back games against teams that are at the upper echelon of college basketball for your Arizona Wildcats.
My favorite memory is, before I could really remember it, but when I was 10, Arizona won their first ever Pac-10 title, ever. And it happened to be in Westwood versus UCLA the night that they won it. And the famous story goes that Bobby Olson went over to Coach Wooden and had a program signed. And Coach Olson had that UCLA Bruins program with Wooden's signature hanging in his office. And people would ask, why do you have a UCLA Bruins program hanging in your office? And that was the first Pac-10 title. UCLA was always the measuring stick forever. And so, UCLA has been that team, Kelvin, that Arizona's always measured themselves against. And then somewhere along the way, I think Arizona pushed ahead and became the more dominant program of the two in the conference. And now they just get to play each other in these neutral site games because the Pac-12 no longer exists.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't exist anymore. It's tough, that it isn't there anymore, but it's great that they're still doing these games. I think that's very important to just the Southern California and Arizona together. I mean, because that's the state right next to you, and still having that rivalry where you can fly there or drive there and be able to play those games. I just think it's just huge, and I hope they figure out a way to just keep it going.
There we go. At least one more so far on tap. We'll hear more from Tommy Lloyd coming up a little bit later on the future of this rivalry between the Wildcats and the UCLA Bruins. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. We've got 1 hour in the books. We've got 2 more hours to go for you as we get you set for the Wildcats and the Bruins. Tip-off time tonight in Los Angeles, scheduled for 8 o'clock. It's the second game of the Hall of Fame series in L.A. tonight. The first game between the other team in Southern California, the Trojans from USC taking on the Redbirds of Illinois State. We'll keep you up to date on that game as well as we continue through tonight. That game gets underway here in about 5 minutes with a 5:30 tip-off.
Do you know what the Redbirds connection is? Because UCLA, USC, and Arizona make a lot of sense, but do you know where the Illinois State connection is to this?
I do not know.
If maybe there's somebody in the administration or whatever.
Yeah, quite possibly. I've not heard how they became the fourth team in this particular Hall of Fame series event out in Los Angeles. They bring a 1-1 record, and the Trojans are off to an undefeated 2-0 start. USC a 15.5-point favorite over the Redbirds tonight in the opener, set to begin here in about 4 minutes. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Hi, I'm Jordan Benjamin with Done Right Services. When your home or business needs HVAC, plumbing services, or electrical work, choose a genuine local Tucson company, Done Right Services. With decades of trusted experience and upfront pricing, Done Right Services treats every customer like a valued neighbor. From upgrades to urgent repairs, our licensed professionals deliver quality, care, and craftsmanship you can count on, getting it done right. Call Done Right Services today at 520-369-3966 because you deserve it done right.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends with no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Discover your perfect vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned cars for over 30 years. They offer a wide range of certified pre-owned vehicles featuring the brands and models you love. Their finance experts are here to provide you with top dollar trade-in offers and help you find the best financing options, regardless of your credit history. With approved credit, enjoy no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all backed by incredible savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com.
Rush into Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun this holiday season for the $100,000 Holiday Gold Rush. Now to December 28th, Club Soul members can strike it rich. Drawings are Fridays and Sundays at 6, 7, and 8 p.m. Win up to $1,000 in free play when you match 2 prize cards, and every 100 slot or table points earned gets you another shot at the gold. Rush in today, only at Casino del Sol. Enterprise of the Boscoyaki Tribe.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Looking for quality windows without the wait? Come to the Window Depot. We carry a huge selection of Milgard windows, in stock now and ready for pickup. Need something custom? No problem. From new construction to full home replacement, we'll help you order the perfect Milgard windows built to fit your space, style, and budget. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the Window Depot makes it easy to get the windows you need fast. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you and see why we're your Milgard window experts.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a 3 out there and drains it. Nawaka takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip-off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Belly holds it there, briefly double-teamed off to Krivas. Trap, squeezes through the defense and slams it home.
Big Mo Krivas throwing his size and weight around there, not being denied for the two-handed flush.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
Hour number 2 of our show, we will check in with Moteas Krivas, who had a bounce-back game against Northern Arizona. DK with TL. Not necessarily my question to the head coach this week, but we'll talk about the answer we're going to get from the boss man, University of Arizona basketball. We'll check in on the college basketball scoreboard, brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers. Who's going to be that Bruin that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin? Will it be the new point guard, Donovan Dent? We'll hear from him coming up. He could be a pest of the game candidate. Bruce Pascoe is going to be on hand at the Intuit Dome tonight for the Wildcats and the UCLA Bruins. We'll check in with Bruce and get his thoughts on the game. Can we beat the book? U of A is a 1.5-point favorite, brought to you by Casino del Sol. And the over-under is much lower than it's been so far this season, as you can imagine. A UCLA team that defends and plays a slower pace. So your over-under today is 154.5. Spotlight on a cat, Dwayne Aristode, who had 18 points last time out against Northern Arizona. Keys to the game and your starting lineup, which is brought to you by Rocking K.
You know, Kelvin, last time these two teams played, they combined for 111 points. So 150 might be a little high. We'll see.
Definitely high.
All right, Moteas Krivas, last time out, 5 of 7 from the floor against Northern Arizona. He finished the ball game with 12 points, 7 rebounds, a career-high 4 blocked shots for Moteas Krivas. Tommy Lloyd on what he saw from his 7'2" big man from Lithuania.
Mo's another guy. You know, he's worked really hard. He's a good player. He's gotten better, but you know, you don't get instant results. And this thing isn't about instant results. These seasons are journeys. And you guys hear me talk about it all the time and having a growth mindset. And, you know, these guys work hard. It doesn't come good. Maybe it doesn't come easy right away. You hang with it. I mean, that's the formula. You hang with it. You hang with it. You hang with it. You make a few adjustments, and then you break through. I mean, that's how anything of value in life comes with some struggle. And performance and player development is no different than anything else.
You know, he missed or played in just 8 games last year, guys, due to the foot injury, and it had some lower extremity injuries even the year before that here at the University of Arizona. And we mentioned just talking about Dwayne Aristode also coming off an injury, maybe playing a little bit timid, although, you know, from his standpoint, I just thought it was maybe, the basketball side of it, not necessarily looking to try to score much in those first 2 games. And I really don't think I've seen Moteas playing timid from maybe the injury standpoint, of trying not to re-injure that foot. Have you guys noticed anything on that respect about whether he looks like maybe he's not, maybe not trying to end up back on the injured list?
No, I haven't seen anything like that. I mean, again, I'm not at practice, but at the games, watching him play, he's just a big man playing hard. I mean, I don't think the team is built around him like it was before. Usually, when you get an injury, a lot of time the coaches, kind of don't do that, even though you're very important. They don't really build it around you. So I don't see them going to him like they tried to go to him last year before the injury. So, right now I don't think you can really look at him offensively because he's not getting a lot of touches. He's not getting plays ran for him. More it's the rebounding and the defense and the change in shots is what we could be looking for right now.
Yeah, I've seen no hesitation in his movement. He seems like really fluid out there. Another thing to remember is the one year he did play 36 games here when he was a sophomore, Umar Ballo was on that team. He played 26 minutes a game. Moteas Krivas only played 12 minutes a game 2 years ago. Last year, they were expecting him to be a highlight of the offense, especially. They were going to run a lot of stuff through him. It just takes a little bit of time. Game shape is a real thing, especially for big guys. So moving around down there, getting pushed on, practice can only, afford you so much getting preparation, getting ready for real games. But getting out there and pushing up, especially against the Florida front line, some of the teams they're going to be seeing coming up with UCLA and obviously UConn. So, yeah, I mean, he looks good out there to me, DK. And much like we talked about Dwayne Aristode, a little deferent, maybe not quite trying to be as aggressive, but last game out, seemed like anytime he caught the ball around the area, he had those 2 hook shots in a row, offensive rebounding in traffic. There was like 5 or 6 possessions in a row last game out where he looked like the best player on the court.
He played.
Let me ask
Go ahead.
J-Dub, I wanted to ask you, do you think we're going to him like we were trying to go to him before?
No, I don't. I don't think this team's makeup is going to afford them to want to try to put Mateus Krivas on the block and have him establish post position, just because you've got so many fluid front court players, Koa Pete chief among them. So what you'll probably see is a little bit more of him moving inside out. With that 7-2, Kelvin, he could play the high post guy. I mean, he could be out there making that high-low pass because at 7-2 he can see over the top. Just needs to make sure that he can knock down that 12-footer. But, yeah, I don't think there's going to be a ton of dedicated post-ups outside of within the flow of the motion offense, but he's not going to park down there in the paint for the entirety of the possessions.
We saw Mateus Krivas. He got 17 minutes the last time out and last two times out. He played 26 minutes in that opening game against Florida. Perhaps maybe he found the correct game day routine that led to his 12 points and 7 rebounds. I asked Mateus about his game day routine and what that all entails for him to get ready to play each night.
Mateus, what's your game day routine? Like, do you have something you eat every day, game days, the music you like to listen to get you hyped up for games? What's your routine?
Depends when we play, or we play home or away, but it's, I don't know, pretty similar. Just same breakfast, just trying to keep it like similar every game day.
Is there a home breakfast? Do you cook it? What's your go-to?
BDK.
BDK.
Yeah.
What's
I have to have a nap.
A nap?
Yeah.
How long?
Huh?
How long?
40 minutes.
40 minutes. Got to get that 40-minute nap in. BDK, obviously there's no BDK, Bear Down Kitchen, on the road for the Wildcats. So hopefully Mateus has a pretty sharp pregame regiment or something he eats that's provided in the training table when the team is on the road. Did you have go-tos, Kelvin, in terms of your meals when you were playing?
Yeah, man, I did. I used to like.
You said you ate a lot of bacon for football. Was that the same for basketball?
No. In basketball, no. I was eating rice and chicken, and man, I used to love broccoli. Those are the type of things for that basketball. Back in the day, for sure.
Absolutely, and Mateus Krivas, of course, 7'2", clocks in at 260 pounds on that scale. Jaden Bradley impressed by what he saw from his big man against Northern Arizona.
I seen a little bit of Mo today, but that's something that we seen every day. Just his finishing around the rim, getting rebounds, and he's been working on a lot. With his injury, and kudos to Mo, and he's getting better every day.
And I mentioned that he had 4 blocks in the game against Northern Arizona. That was a career high for him. He already has 7 blocks this season through 3 games, and he only played 8 games last year, so really doing a great job as a rim protector so far this season. Tommy Lloyd was asked the kind of defense he expects to get from Mateus Krivas.
All of our bigs are always important defensively, but Mo has great size. I think he's really growing as a paint protector defensively. He may not be Ralph Sampson, or Dikembe Mutombo, blocking shots, but he's starting to impact the game around the rim, and that's something we've really encouraged him to get better at. So I'm really happy with him. His ball screen coverages seem to be getting a little bit better. His effort and attention to detail in those matter, and I'm definitely seeing improvement. So I think it's trending in the right direction.
Yeah, and I mentioned early in the show, this is a big team, a much bigger team than maybe the Wildcats have had in recent years. When you talk about Mateus Krivas in there and what he's been able to do with 7 blocks already this season, Toby Awak is a guy that's kind of standing in that middle. You can really even put Koa Pete kind of as a guy who's going to be someone that's going to be defending that paint.
Koa Pete blocked a hook shot. Blocked a hook shot this year. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Exactly. Jaden Bradley was asked about the interior defense of this team.
Stay out the paint for sure. It's dangerous down there. You got Tobe, Koa, Krivas, Ceedy, probably the best shot blocker I've seen in a minute. So just going against those guys every day and gets me better, gets our teammates better. So just so happy to have those guys on our team.
Yeah, it's going to be something to watch as we continue to go on, how the Wildcats do when those guards try to get in the lane and create. All right, let's get you the question from the head coach this week.
For all the questions you need answered, it's DK with TL. Our David Kelly asks Tommy Lloyd questions, and you get the answers. DK with TL is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
All right, so Tommy did not do a regular style press conference before this game at UCLA. He actually talked about it after the game on Tuesday night after the Northern Arizona game. Of course, we are not down there post-game because of our post-game show duties here in studio. So what we've got for you, DK with TL, this week is not necessarily a question I asked, but a question I might have asked had I been down there and talking to the head coach. And one of the things that we got out of the game against Northern Arizona was there were a lot of guys that played, and there were a couple of guys who didn't play. And two of the guys that didn't play in that game were Mobile Mawat, a young big man. We've seen now, and you heard Jaden Bradley mention C.D. Guy, who is one of the two freshman bigs from Europe that the Wildcats have brought over from Senegal, and along with Mobile Mawat. C.D. has played, Mobile has not. And we also have not seen Bryce James in either of the first three ball games. So is there a possibility that those two guys might redshirt?
Obviously, redshirting's on the table for both of them. No final decisions have been made, but it's tough. It puts you in a tough situation. You play Bryce in a game like this for 3 minutes, it burns a year of eligibility. I mean, I wish it was easier. I wish there was a set number of games you could play a guy like they have in football. I think that would make a lot of sense, for some of these kids, but we don't. So I can only operate with the rules that we currently have, because I want Bryce to have the best college basketball career and the most options in his college basketball career long term, whatever that looks like. And I just feel like throwing a kid with a lot of potential that's developing, he or Mobile, a few garbage minutes. I mean, it might feel good now, but potentially down the line it could be something you regret.
With Bryce particularly, could it, if you did that, maybe takes a little pressure off him because of who he is and people wondering, is he going to play every day? And if he redshirts,
I've been very direct. Redshirting's on the table for him. That's why he hasn't played in a game yet. Otherwise, he would be playing some minutes in some of these games, especially at the end. We've had multiple conversations with Bryce about it, so I think we're on the same page. Again, no final decision's been made because you don't have to make a final decision. So why would I make a final decision? But the decision as of now is to protect his opportunity to redshirt.
And guys, I would have to think that this, he says they've had these conversations. I would think this is a conversation that they probably had from the very beginning. And then, so this is not, I would hope that this is not a surprise to Bryce and the James family, that's probably going to be the case. I mean, if you're Tommy Lloyd, I would think that was probably something that they talked about from the very beginning. Look, here's what we got, and in all likelihood, you're going to be redshirting this season.
100,000%. That's when you go into these homes with these guys, especially people like LeBron, where you have clutch management and all these people that understand sports. I think LeBron wanted him to come here because he wanted him to learn under coach. That's bottom line. He could have went anywhere in the country. He got Mike Bibby over at Sacramento State. So if he wanted to just put him somewhere where he could just go and play, there were several places that he could have sent them, and they would have played LeBron's son. LeBron wanted him to come here so he can get that work, so he can get bigger, stronger, faster, more confident, all those things. He's not Bronny. This is Bryce. Bronny is the older brother, a little more mature. You can just tell how he moves and everything. Bryce is still young. You can see his body still developing. I think this is great. He came to a school where he was basically stacked, right? And he has a skill that will translate one day. He can shoot the ball. He will be a 3-and-D guy by probably next year, or for sure going into the year after. So, yeah, man, I think it's great. And I also want to add this. When I was a freshman, I thought it was the most disrespectful thing to get redshirted. But I didn't have anybody in my family or anyone talking to me that I could trust to tell me, hey, redshirt means that they actually like you. They want you to be around another year. They're paying for your school for another year. So it doesn't feel that way as a young guy because you think I'm going to be one and done. Unrealistic, which you got to be a little crazy to be a D1 player. You got to have some crazy aspirations. But with that being said, I just feel like that, he's in a situation, man, where he gets a chance to develop. And I think that's what his dad and his mom wanted.
Yeah, real quick on this. You got to remember that, Bronny played 4 years in high school and was a starter all 4 years. Bryce became a starter in his senior year. He was a rotational bench player before that. Whatever the family discussions, DK, were with Tommy Lloyd and the coaching staff, the pressure that Bronny James had was LeBron saying out loud to media, I want to play with my son in the NBA and become the first ever father-son duo to ever play in an NBA game together. That's already happened. So because of the James last name, obviously Bryce is going to get a lot of immediate attention. But relative to, like Kelvin just said right there, what he needs to work on and whether or not he's going to be a long-term NBA prospect, it's just a matter of working on those aspects of his game that aren't getting him in the rotation right now and coming to terms with that. If he was a top 20 level recruit and came in and the coaching staff said, we're going to have you on the bench for the next year, that's a problem. But that's not who Bronny James was coming in. And look at the guys on the roster that he's competing with. So there's a lot of talent on this Arizona roster. I'm certain that whatever conversations have happened between the family and the coaching staff, they understand that, and they understand that Coach Lloyd has the best interest of Bronny James at heart.
Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, getting you set for UCLA and Arizona out at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California, suburban Los Angeles. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. We'll get to our pest of the game, check the scoreboard, and we'll take your calls as well at 520-848-1290. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Acclaim Drain and Plumbing Solutions, Bear Down Roofing, Dorado Rock, Essential Pest Control, Goodfellas AC, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Johnson Manley Company, JT Auto, Lexus of Tucson, Mr. Rooter, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
At Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, we know your home is more than four walls. It's where family gathers and comfort matters most. During the month of November, with the purchase of a new HVAC system, we'll include a free water heater or take $1,000 off your installation. It's our way of helping keep your home cozy, efficient, and worry-free. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, where home wellness begins.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the Ghost Pepper Challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call Blue Sky Pest Control today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rocking K, with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
You know it, your neighbors know it, and let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be, but thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Bounce pass off to Burries, gets into the lane, lay it up, and good.
How long did he hang for that layup? Braden Burries just hanging in the air with that right hand, able to kiss it off the glass. The kid is an excellent, attacking the rim, playing downhill. That's where he's at his best.
Wildcats and the UCLA Bruins from the Intuit Dome coming up for you at 8 p.m. We've got you till 7:30, and then we'll turn you over to the network. It's going to be Brody Dryden and Matt Muehlbach on the call. Matt Muehlbach, guard, class of 1991. Brian Jeffries is in in Cincinnati, I should say, with the football team for tomorrow's game. This is going to be an interesting night as we're scheduled to be done at 1. Hopefully, if things kind of go the way they've been going and we get the show early, like we've been getting about a half an hour early, maybe we can be done by 12:30, and then we can take a little bit of a nap before we're back on the air at 5:30 a.m. for your Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day football pregame show. So
Matt Muehlbach, famous for
beating UCLA
never
every
having
time.
lost a home game in McHale in 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years of undefeated home basketball.
There you go. Let's hear from Doug in Tucson. You're on Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day.
Hey, great to talk to you guys pregame for change. Muehlbach was 64-0, J-Dub. 64-0. Pretty impressive.
He played with some good teammates,
impressive.
but he had quite a bit to do with it as well.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't say he carried the team, but he was a big part of it.
Yeah, he was a freshman on that first Final Four team, I think, right?
Well, I was going to say he was a Gumby. Yeah, I don't know if he was a redshirt or if he was actually a freshman. I forget, but he was part of that whole crew with Harvey Mason and Mark Georgeson and some of those other guys, Sean Brooks on the bench in '88. But just kind of reminiscing on this rivalry. It's so crazy because back in those days, man, I could probably name, every year I could probably name the UCLA roster 10 deep, probably their jersey numbers too. And coming into tonight, I don't think I could have named one single player. And that's partly me. I haven't really followed it as closely now that we're not in their conference, but it's just so strange that the way the times have changed, But from what I'm hearing from your scouting report, they've got some weapons, especially this guy from New Mexico. It's got me a little bit concerned. But I've liked our defense so far this year, so it's really a question of, is UCLA with their system going to be able to take us out of our offensive free flow and force us to be sort of a half court, maybe have to shoot over a zone kind of team. I hope not, but we may have to hit some threes tonight.
Well, I kind of like Koa Pete in the one-on-one half-court situation. I think I think Arizona's going to be strong with him in that respect. And then we obviously saw what our guy Dwayne could do in the last game in terms of spotting up and making a three-point shot. But again, this is a whole different animal. This is not Northern Arizona; it's UCLA. So can those freshmen be up to that type of task against a team of this stature?
I think the fact that he hit 6 for 9 last game, if nothing else, that puts him in as a decoy role. Even if he doesn't take those threes, it just makes the defense, keeps them honest. Same thing if Deli's out there, or maybe some of the other guys that'll shoot. Well, Ivan and Burries. I mean, Jaden can hit some threes. So you just want to keep them honest so that they can't just collapse the defense on you. And so we should still want to be able to run our stuff. I just wanted, I don't know if any of you wanted to comment on any of that, because I was going to shift gears.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think Adem Boner's walking through that door, and Ade Mara, who was a guy last year, he transferred to Michigan. So what we've noticed from Cronin teams is a lot of strength and physicality inside. This roster, like you mentioned, Doug, may not look like a typical UCLA roster. I don't see a lot of those NBA-type centers that they had in the past. I mean, obviously, you're going to hear a lot about I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name, Thibodeau, right? And he went to, he's Bilodeau, excuse me. He's more of a, stretch four. He's going to try to bring your center out away from the basket. But one of the telltale things about a Cronin defense that Arizona's seen since, Coach Lloyd has taken over is a really big interior presence. I'm not sure they have it on this year's team.
Yeah, we just need to stay out of foul trouble, because, we've had some trouble with some of those athletic, big 4s and 5s, especially thinking about that game at Stanford when they put up 100 points on us. That's sort of the stereotypical roster they would have, is some of those stretch 4s, either shooting over you or just good footwork around the basket. So I just want to see, Tobe and Mo keep it clean out there, because it feels like we've been a little foul prone, although it feels like also refs have been calling all the games very tight. But I think if we can keep our roster on the court, we're just like we do against a lot of other teams. I think we're going to wear down UCLA, because, like you guys said, we don't know much about their quality of depth. They have a pretty good starting rotation, but I'm pretty optimistic about wearing them down in the long run. I do think 153 points is a little much for tonight in any Mick Cronin game. But and then just real quick, I thought that Tommy is exactly right. I just don't understand the redshirt rule in football versus basketball.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
You can play in 4 out of 12 football games. That's 33% of your regular season. If you apply that to basketball, 40 games, you could play 12? You could miss 12 games. No, you could play 12 games.
Non-conference, basically, right?
Yeah, and then just come in on New Year's Day and you're still eligible.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in football.
I feel like they got to look into that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter in football which games you pick. It doesn't matter which games you pick. It could be long as you don't go over the total amount.
Yeah, you go first, 9th, and 13th.
Yeah, I'd like to see them put in, even if it was 6 games or something, just so you can give a guy like Bryce James or Mabil Mawood or whoever it is some minutes, and then see if it feels like that's someone you want to use a whole year or not. I just don't understand why they would have a double standard in basketball versus football. But I would totally understand him redshirting those two guys because our roster looks pretty stout right now, and you can always break into that redshirt if we need it. But I like what Tommy's got going. I'm not going to question his judgment. So go Cats! Let's get this non-conference season, or keep it going in the right direction.
Absolutely, Doug. Appreciate your call as always. Doug in Tucson. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, getting you set for the Wildcats and the UCLA Bruins at the Intuit Dome. It's the Hall of Fame Series Los Angeles. It's the second game of the evening. The Wildcats in Las Vegas played the opening game. They'll play the second game tonight. The first game is underway. It is the Southern California Trojans against the Illinois State Redbirds. And right now, with about 8 minutes to go in the first half, the Trojans are leading the Redbirds 25-15. 520-848-1290. If you want to get in, call or text. Let's chat with T-Money. You're on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
Hey, gentlemen, thanks for blowing through a commercial break to take some phone calls. That does breed loyalty. Hey, when I saw this card, okay, so it's UCLA, UC Los Angeles and Arizona, that feels right. But USC and Illinois State, you're the only person ever who could have a connection to something like this. I was not surprised when you said that. However, when I first saw Illinois State Redbirds, I thought there was some kind of AI-generated spoof or something. If I were SC, I would be totally insulted, incensed, and wouldn't even show up. That's like Sparta and Athens fighting, and then Troy gets to fight, I don't know, Sierra Vista. I don't know what's happening there. But I am happy that it's the Cats and the Bruins. Maybe Calvin can pepper us with some of his favorite Bruin stories. But, hey, go Cats. I don't know. One of the other local hacks on these airwaves was saying that it really doesn't mean much. This means everything. It's Arizona, UCLA. It's November, and I'm so happy it's here.
Let me ask you this, T-Money. Were you surprised? Tommy played it down. He played down. He talked about the importance of playing the game, but he played down the fact that, hey, this is still it's UCLA, but we can't treat UCLA any different than we treat Northern Arizona. Were you surprised he said that?
No, he's the coach, and we're the fans, and we're the fans here in Tucson, and we eat EGs, and we get crazy for U of A basketball, and our nemesis has always been UCLA. And I can name the 1995 starting roster and their backup point guard, backup center. It's UCLA for crying out loud. And so if this were to ever go away, a piece of us would go away as well. But I'm just very grateful.
For the record, T-Money, the Illinois State Redbirds have been to the NCAA tournament 6 times. The last time was 30 years ago, but they have made a splash at least.
So that would have been right about the time I was getting out of 1995. Yeah, I was
98. 98 was their was their last appearance in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and I do remember when they played Bowling Green in the second round. That was I don't know.
Who could forget?
T-Money, thank you.
Gentlemen, bear down.
Right. Oh man, T-Money is funny too. Don't be like sideswiping my Redbirds.
Well,
he said,
go ahead, Kelvin.
I was gonna say he said what was one of my memories? One of my memories was playing against the UCLA team here, and coach put me in the game, and I was in there for 2 seconds to get a foul, and he took me back out.
You were in there to get a foul.
I got the video.
I think you've said that before, yeah. Who did you go in to foul?
I went in to foul whoever had the ball, but I tried to foul Tyrus Edney. He passed it, so I went and fouled Ed O'Bannon.
One of them O'Bannons, probably, yeah.
Got him pretty good, too.
For the record, for the younger listeners, the reason why NIL exists is because of the 1995 UCLA Bruins basketball team. Look it up.
There you go.
O'Bannons sued for name, image, and likeness, and that's why we are where we are today. That got the ball rolling.
All right, let's hear from we're talking about Donovan Dent. Let's hear from Donovan Dent on why he entered the transfer portal.
It was a lot of hard work, a lot of credit to New Mexico. I loved it over there. It was a very hard decision to leave there. Ultimately, just came down to my head coach, Coach P, getting out of there, and I feel like best move for me was going to Coach Cronin back home, just being in the right environment.
There you go. Got to be in the right environment, and we'll see if that is in fact a positive for him as this season goes along. Might he be the guy that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin, as Tommy Lloyd said, the thorn, when he was referring to the Bruins. Might he be the thorn in our side? Let's find out who that pest of the game is going to be.
Who is the pest that the Wildcats need to be free from to win today's game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
Pest of the game time. I'm going to go with, I got to go with our guy. I know we've talked a lot about Donovan Dent, but I got to go with our guy, Tyler Bilodeau, because he's played at 3 schools now, and he's had significant games. Well, I'm sorry, he's played at 2 Pac-12 schools, and he's had significant games against Arizona at both of those schools, and I don't think today will really be any different. So I'm going to go with Tyler Bilodeau as my pest of the game, because he stuck it. He was the thorn. He was a thorn in our side last year in Phoenix. Kelvin.
I'm going to go with, well, you got my guy.
Tyler
his
Bilodeau?
ability to score. Yeah, his ability to score, I think, is going to give our forwards a lot of problems. Our power forward is going to be able to give him a lot of power because he has length. He shoots fadeaways. He has high release. And he shoots from the 3, and he can score inside. So he's going to be a problem. But the guy I'm going to go with is Xavier Booker. Rebounder, he averages 6 rebounds a game, 6'11", 245. You know Cronin always have those bruisers that's in there ready to bang. And I think it's going to be up to him to be physical against our bigs and really crash the boards.
Well, since you guys didn't say his name, I guess I'll just go with the obvious choice, which is Donovan Dent, because that's the guy who makes things go. He did it at New Mexico for 3 years, Conference Player of the Year last year, 20 points a game and 6 assists last year. This year, 17 and 7. So, again, with the Cronin team, he's going to have a tight 7-man rotation. There's usually one or guy. It used to be Tiger Campbell. These days, it's Donovan Dent. So you got to make sure that you keep him somewhat in check to keep UCLA somewhat in check.
All right, Donovan Dent, Tyler Bilodeau, and Xavier Booker, the guys, the thorns, the pests, the guys that'll get underneath the Wildcats' skin tonight.
That's our Pest of the Game. Brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and 2-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thana Ogden Nation.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Rightway is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 11,000 5-star Google reviews, you can trust Rightway to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Rightway today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think first chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden. It's time now for us to take you down to the front row of the arena. A view from courtside is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser serving Southern Arizona over 30 years.
And our view from courtside comes from the man who covers Arizona basketball and has done so for a very long time. Bruce Pascoe from the Arizona Daily Star is our guest. He is in Los Angeles. Bruce, appreciate you taking a few minutes on game day to join us. The renewal of the rivalry last year in Phoenix. Last year's game was really interesting, Bruce, because that kind of maybe was the game that kind of set the tone for the start of the Big 12 conference season for Arizona. They had been going through some struggles. They had a lead in that game. They lost it, but then they seemed to turn it on. After that, rivalries can sometimes kind of set your mind straight.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously they were at a real downspin at that point, and then after, I mean, they lost that game. They were 4-5.
Yeah.
And off of it, I mean, we were talking about, were they even going to make the tournament at that point? And, but I think it was right. A lot has to do with that game, and that sticks with them. But I think, that was the first game that Mo Krivas didn't play. He wore a boot to that game, and they knew he was out for the season, even though it wasn't announced till later. And that's when they started kind of figuring out the rotation. Got a lot easier at that point, so they had that motivation going. They also had a couple of, easier home games to kind of work through it. And then they went on the road, or then they opened with some of the lower Big 12 teams, which I think also was beneficial and kind of built their confidence back up. And then boom, they won 7 in a row, I think, at that point.
This is obviously a very tall team that Tommy has this year. When you look at this front line, you mentioned Krivas, Mateus Krivas, Toby Waka, Koa Pete added to that. We saw the emergence of Dwayne Aristotle in the last game. The one thing that's kind of been my top takeaway, Bruce, is just the first 3 games we've seen each, really, you could say all 4 of these top freshmen have really had an eye-opening game. You go back to Ivan Karchinkov, his double-double against Florida. First, only one of 5 freshmen in history that have ever had a double-double in their debut with the Arizona Wildcats. Koa's 30, and then Braden had 18 against Utah Tech, and then Dwayne comes out for his 18 spot the last game against NAU. It's been good to see that each one of these freshmen has had kind of a standout scoring game to start the season to gain that confidence that they're going to need.
Yeah, and I think Karchenkov's day against Florida kind of got overshadowed by the way Koa Pete played. I mean, nationally, everyone was talking about Koa Pete, and but Karchenkov was really big in that game, and he hit the 2 threes that they made the whole game, and as well as did a bunch of other things, and double-digit rebounds was against that team. That was pretty impressive as well. So you're right, absolutely. I mean, I think Burry's probably had the toughest time, especially against Florida, and now he's back in his hometown tonight, so we'll see how he does. It could be, he's definitely shown he's got a motor in him, and he's really competitive, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him have a good game tonight.
Have you been inside the Intuit Dome yet, Bruce?
No, I've been just reading about it. It sounds fascinating, and it's funny because like most arenas, they're all kind of the same. NBA arenas, that have been built in the last 20, 25 years are kind of all pretty similar. And, from what I understand, this is quite a bit different. So I'm actually kind of curious to get out there. SC is going to play Illinois State in the first game, so I'm going to get there for that and just kind of walk around the place and see what it's like. But I've heard a lot of good things.
Obviously, the big interesting news for tonight's game, there's a little bit of an injury situation with Donovan Dent. Are you hearing anything on that end? I know Coach Cronin came out and said that he'll likely play in this game.
Yeah, he will. I mean, I think if they were playing Arizona on Monday, he would have played in that game. It was one of those kind of deals. It was kind of precautionary. He had a muscle strain. Cronin said he was kind of banged up. But somebody asked him yesterday, I assume it was about him, how's Donnie? And he said, fine. So, and I know Jack Murphy, who's scouting him, when I talked to Murph yesterday, he said 100% he's going to play. So they're definitely preparing for that. And, they know what kind of player he is and how how difficult he can be to stop, because you got him, returning honorable mention All-American who can really control the offense in a number of ways. And then, a lot of guys back. So it's a pretty interesting, combination. It's going to be tough for Arizona.
We're chatting with Bruce Pascoe. It is your View from Courtside, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Arizona for 30 years. Bruce, I want to ask you something. I don't know if you picked up on it. It seems there's a little bit of a different coverage of this team on the national side this year. It seems like Tommy Lloyd's been everywhere. Like I swear to God, every day I pick up my phone and he's done a different podcast, which is again, Arizona's had big wins to start seasons in the past, but it seems like beating Florida has set a different tone nationally around this program. Have you kind of picked that up, that it seems like there's more nationalists coming in on Arizona as in the last week?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I think, he's always been aware of that and occasionally done national type stuff like that. I think it helps for, he knows it helps for recruiting exposure. And I think you were there, DK, when he said somebody asked him about, do you really want to start the season with a team like this and a game like this versus, some home games that are easier buy games or whatever. And he basically said, well, no, I don't really want to, but this is a game you just don't turn down, when you have a chance to play on national TV, and against the national champions, and they just happen to win it. And he said that after the game too. He said, hey, I didn't know if we were going to win, but I knew we'd be pretty good. And, I think he thought, it'd be great exposure as long as they didn't get embarrassed, and they weren't going to get embarrassed probably in a game like that he felt it'd be good. And then they won, and boom, all these people are inviting him. And, I'm guessing, he might as well ride that. I mean, he is pretty smart like that. He's not going to miss it. He doesn't love doing a lot of media, but like if it's a national thing like that, you might as well ride it and get what you can out of it. I think it helps.
No, I mean, it's very, I mean, again, it's interesting. Like you mentioned, he doesn't necessarily like doing national media, but he's building, he's kind of building this persona with the DJ Tommy kind of thing and these little offshoots that obviously is going to invite people to want to talk to him about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, you've been here a while too. I mean, like, you know how it is when you're in Arizona nationally, it's always, like with a lot of sports, the center of college basketball is generally in the Midwest and east of the country. And, so Arizona's like this team that's just sort of out there. And then if they are really good and really interesting, then people pay attention. Otherwise they forget. And, as we were talking earlier, after that start last year, nobody was talking about them. There's nobody on their radar, and even when they got better towards the end of the year, there was still no buzz about that team. This team is different because they had a hot start and they've got some really well-regarded freshmen, and I think the most interesting part about that was just that, it's almost like, all the freshman attention was about AJ Davanza and Cameron Boozer and this and that. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, these guys in Arizona are pretty good, and I think that's, that's something that's good for the program, but sometimes you have to kind of work for it. I think if you're in Arizona, it's just, time zone and distance works against you. And that's, but if you play a big time game like that against a team, that's really on everybody's radar and beat them, that just brings out all kinds of attention.
Bruce Pascoe joining us on the pregame show. It's your view from courtside. It's brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Arizona for 30 years. You've been covering this team for about that amount of time, Bruce Pascoe. Have you gotten to 30 years yet?
No, but not that far away, scarily, yeah.
When we look at Copeet, and this is 18th year for me. In terms of guys that are going to be one and done, I would probably put him in that category with Aaron Gordon. I think he's probably the best freshman big. I don't want to talk bad about DeAndre Ayton, but I was never a huge DeAndre Ayton fan. But he reminds me a lot of what you were getting when you had Aaron Gordon in this program. What stands out to you? I just love the way he breaks down guys one-on-one in the lane.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Gordon's a great comparison, and just his quickness and his IQ, and because you look at his size and you think, okay, well he can really bully guys over, but no, he can beat them as well, and he's really pretty accurate shooter within up to mid range or so, and I think that's obviously going to expand over time. But just I don't know. I just think the way he can move. And, the body control he has for that size is really impressive. And, I watched him in a couple of those USA practices last June when Tommy Lloyd was coaching that team. And that's what jumped out at me there, too, against, some really good competition. And then to translate that against Florida and Alex Condon and some of those guys, that was really something.
What are your keys tonight for a victory for Arizona, Bruce?
Well, it's UCLA. It's the same old thing. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're you got to control the ball and try and control it. It'll be a classic battle of pace, as it often is. I think and controlling the ball has a lot to do with it. And Arizona will be able to do that. Rebounding and taking care of the ball against a team that's classically, I think their pace is like about 300 range or so. I mean, they're slow, but they can run, but they can go to sets. They got guys who can score at every position. They've got some real veterans. They brought in Xavier Booker up front, and and then Dent on the outside, and they got Tyler Bilodeau. And if I was looking at you realize he was a freshman at Oregon State.
Yeah.
He had 18 points on Arizona. He's always been a problem for them, and he was last year too. So there's just a lot to do there. But I think it sounds boring, but if they can control the rebounding and keep the turnovers to a minimum, I think that'll go a long way.
Let me ask you this question, Bruce. What do you think? You mentioned the pace the factor, and that UCLA is one of the slowest teams in the country. In this age of players who want to play fast and get up and down, what do you think the attraction is to playing for Mick Cronin?
I think a lot of it is they do win, and they're, I think a lot of it's just, Los Angeles and, being at UCLA, I think they're competitive on the NIL front and all that. And, it speaks to, you could say, well, yeah, players might not like that, but, they do produce players who get in the pros. They do okay that way. And just their retention, tells you that something good must be going on there, because guys generally don't leave there. I mean, we're seeing the transfer portal cranking out every year, but UCLA is one of the few that really, doesn't lose too many guys to it. And so there's something to be said for that. I don't know exactly the exact formula, but I seem to like it.
All right. Do you know if you're on the floor tonight at the Intuit Dome, Bruce? Do you know where they have you?
No. I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know. I hope so, but sometimes these outside neutral games, you never know. A lot of times they end up putting you behind the basket, which can be good because you're close to the floor. But obviously, if the basket's in the way, that's a problem sometimes. So who knows? You never know. And a lot of these deals, they're selling the high end tickets on the court side. So usually we're not going to be there. I have no idea, honestly. Yeah, hopefully it's not a hockey box situation. That's the only thing you hope for, because then you can't even tell.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't even tell if the guy's passing it or shooting a 3-pointer when you're up that high.
Bruce, I know things have changed in all of our industries. I see you writing a few different things. What all are you writing now besides basketball? I see you covering a few other things as well.
Well, gosh, how do I say? We're kind of smaller staff now, and we I think there's been an emphasis on a lot of community sports. We don't have the resources to cover a lot of high schools day to day, but if somebody's a standout athlete, we do a student athlete of the week. So I've done some of them, and then I've helped out a little with some of the other sports at U of A, which I find is good. I mean, it's good for me to do other sports at U of A and get to know some of the coaches and some of the athletes, and they usually, as it's usually pretty. You can tell pretty good stories about them. I mean, like I did one on triathlon before they won their national championship when they hosted, and just talking to some of those athletes was really interesting. In fact, the one thing that jumped out at me with them is their national championship is one thing, but a lot of them went to the World Championships in Australia, I think in October, and just how high level they are from a lot of different countries. And so I think we'll see a lot of them in 2028 here in LA, probably. So that's kind of interesting. And so just kind of broadening it a little bit, and, the way our situations I've had time, and, it's been interesting. I think recruiting is, a lot of times in the fall, recruiting used to be really hectic, and it's not quite as much now, because I think a lot of the players are waiting, and now it's a lot about the transfer portal. So you just figure April is going to be nuts. I don't, usually can't do anything but roster transition at that point. But this fall has really given me a good opportunity to do some other things.
There we go. Bruce Pascoe. Hey, Bruce, appreciate it. We'll talk to you again later in the season.
All right. Thanks, DK. Appreciate it.
That's your view from courtside.
Hope you enjoyed your view from courtside. It was brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Southern Arizona for over 30 years. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Acclaim Drain and Plumbing Solutions, Bear Down Roofing, Dorado Rock, Essential Pest Control, Goodfellas AC, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Johnson Manley Company, JT Auto, Lexus of Tucson, Mr. Rooter, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Hi, I'm Lisa Chastain. No one should go hungry, especially at Thanksgiving. That's why Gospel Rescue Mission is hosting our annual Thanksgiving Blessings event. Join us on Wednesday, November 26th for a home-cooked Thanksgiving meal. Also, clothing, haircuts, additional resources, and life-changing opportunities. Celebrate the holidays with us, because Thanksgiving is better when we share it together. Visit grmtucson.com to learn more.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thana Ogden Nation.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Ready to update your kitchen, create a spa-inspired bathroom, or a backyard oasis? Put the equity in your home to work for you with a home equity line of credit from Hughes. Borrow between $10,000 and $250,000 and enjoy flexible terms and no prepayment penalties. With Hughes Federal Credit Union's one-rate guarantee, there's no switching rates based on your credit score. All our members get our same low rate. Learn more at hughesfcu.org/HELOC. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Certain restrictions apply.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a three out there and drains it. Milwaukee takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our window depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip-off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Here's Sven, quickly down. Aristote, another three. Oh, this is incredible. Wayne Aristote is sixth. Lexus of Tucson Charity 3.
Tucson, it's time to beat the book. Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, final hour of our show before we get you to the network coming up at 7:30. Brody Dryden, Matt Muehlbach on the call tonight in Los Angeles. Wildcats and Bruins. We've still got Beat the Book coming up for you. Arizona, a 1.5-point favorite. Are you taking the Wildcats and laying that 1.5 tonight? You're over under 154.5. J-Dub mentioned the last time these two teams played, it was 111 was the total. So that might be a little bit high for a game that's going to involve a lot of defense. We'll shine a spotlight on a cat. Dwayne Aristote had an awesome scoring game last time out, hitting 6 3-point shots and finishing with 8 points. We'll also give you your scoreboard. That is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers. Let you know what else is happening and get you up to date on the first game happening in Los Angeles tonight at the Hall of Fame series at the Intuit Dome. Keys to the game are sponsored by Royal Automotive. Starting lineups given to you by Rocking K. All of that still to come in this final hour of the show that we have with you. Now, this is the renewal of the rivalry. I mentioned this is the 115th time that these two teams have played basketball. Tommy Lloyd talked about, in a very short tone, about whether or not he would like to see this rivalry continue with UCLA.
I love it. I mean, I hope we're able to continue it on an annual basis. I mean, for me, I don't see any reason to not do that.
Absolutely. I don't see any reason why not either. I mean, again, they've got these games scheduled. I don't know. Again, it'll be interesting. I think the next question that we are going to ask about this rivalry is if they will continue it in a home and home situation where each team goes and plays at each other's arena. The Bruins come and play at McHale Center. The Wildcats go and play at Poly Pavilion. Obviously, the agreed upon first 3 games in the series were neutral sites, although, again, the neutral site here in Arizona was the game in Phoenix. The neutral site today is the game in Los Angeles, and then the next game will be played once again in Las Vegas. That'll give the Wildcats another chance to get in front of their crowd in Las Vegas. But as Tommy said, and you heard it at the top, apparently there were not a lot of tickets being sold from the Southern California fan base, which, again, has always been traditionally a strong one when the Wildcats play in Southern California, whether it would have been in the Pac-12 for a conference game or whether they were playing over there for NCAA tournament games. So anxious to see what the turnout is in terms of Cardinal and Navy tonight at the Intuit Dome.
I do have the record UCLA versus Arizona during the Pac era, which was 76, right?
Right.
Yeah, so Arizona entered the same conference as UCLA. Prior to that, DK, the Bruins were 9-2. So 63-48. I'm sorry, 53-48. So 5-game difference since the two teams joined. So 14-game difference all time.
Fairly even since they became
pretty much a
conference
wash.
mates. Yeah, that's expected.
And again, like 76-84 before Lute got here, before 83, before you really got it going, you got to include those games as well. So since Lute Olson took over the program, Arizona has a winning record, obviously, versus UCLA.
All right, let's find out what's happening around the world of college basketball.
Let's take a look at what's happening today around the rest of the country. The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
All right, in terms of the Big 12, there's actually a full slate of games tonight across the conference. This is a game involving the number 5 team in the country in Arizona and the number 15 Bruins. Also on tap tonight, Arizona State at home at Desert Financial Arena against 19th-ranked Gonzaga. That'll be a late game tonight with a 9 o'clock our time tip-off on ESPN2.
Coach Lloyd and Coach Few can't play against each other, so they just switched that game over to the Sun Devils?
To the Sun
How's that
Devils.
work?
There you go. Yeah, there's no friendly blood between Mark Few and Bobby Hurley. Number 11, Texas Tech is home tonight against Milwaukee. That game is in the first half, nearing the end, with the Red Raiders on top 34-30. Texas A&M hosting Central Florida tonight, and leading are the Aggies 26-18. That game also just at the under 4 break in the first half. At 7 o'clock, in about 20 minutes, 6th-ranked Michigan will visit TCU down in Fort Worth. So the Wolverines on the road with a test against the 2-1 Horned Frogs. Colorado at home tonight in Boulder against Providence. The Buffaloes off to a 2-0 start. And Baylor will host Tarleton State tonight. The Bears are 2-0. And the Tarleton State, I believe the Vikings, are 2-2 on the season. In terms of the top 25 this evening, the number 4 team is in action and winning big tonight. Duke at home on top of Indiana State, 80-47. That's midway through the second half. 9th-ranked Kentucky facing Eastern Illinois at home in Louisville. That game nearing conclusion with the Blue Cats leading 88-46 this evening. Number 21, Arkansas leading Samford 40-30. 23rd ranked Creighton on top of Maryland Eastern Shore 31-20. And 14th ranked Illinois with our guy Kylan Boswell and company will host Colgate tonight in Champaign. That game gets started at the top of the hour. Also, Henry Vasar and the North Carolina Tar Heels are home at the Dean Center in Chapel Hill against North Carolina Central out of the MEAC. The Tar Heels ranked 18th in the country and off to a 3-0 start on the year. And let's see, our guy Vasar through the first 3 games of the season is averaging 30 minutes, scoring 17 points, grabbing 7 rebounds, shooting 68% from the floor and 43% from 3. So Henry Vasar having a very good start to his new life in Chapel Hill.
Speaking of Tobacco Road players that had Arizona ties, DK, there was also good news for Duke today where Cameron Williams, the number 1 recruit out of the state of Arizona, number 4 overall by most people's metrics, he chose the Blue Devils today over Texas and Arizona. Those are his 3 finalists.
That was what kind of a lot of people were thinking that, and you heard Bruce say it there, that he thought that was going to be the case, that Cameron Williams would go to Duke. And so Arizona not getting that commitment, but still lots of commitments maybe to be had. Tommy Lloyd was asked this week maybe how many people he would have in the class coming up, and he thought 1 or 2, but you never know. He said it really wasn't about what happens right now in the early or late signing period. It's about who the guys are that get on campus come August. Those are the guys that are really going to be playing for you this season. All right, want you to also know last night Arizona volleyball fell 3-1 on the road to Arizona State. So the Sun Devils win that Territorial Cup Series point. However, the Wildcats lead the Territorial Cup Series 2.5 points to 1 with victories in women's and men's cross country and a split so far in soccer. The only sport left to be decided will be the football Territorial Cup Series point, which will be coming up in just about 2 weeks from today, as a matter of fact, because that game will be on a Friday. 2 weeks from today, the Territorial Cup game between Arizona and Arizona State. 2 weeks from tonight, as a matter of fact, it'll start at 7 o'clock, so we are almost exactly that away. High school football tonight, postseason. All the big-name schools in southern Arizona are in action. Marana will host Yuma Catholic in a first-round game. Desert View will be at home against Mountain Point as well. Cienega on the road against Desert Edge. Push Ridge Christian Academy will host Florence in Conference 3A. Mountain View on the road at ALA Gilbert North tonight. Good luck to those Mountain Lions and Matt Johnson. Micah Mountain at home against Lake Havasu this evening. Tank Verde on the road against Veritas Prep. Veritas Prep is the number 1 seed in Conference 2A, so the Hawks will have their hands full tonight. Wilcox and Benson going to duke it out down in Cochise County in Conference 2A as well. And in Conference 6A, South Point Catholic will visit Queen Creek up in the valley. Good luck to all of those schools that are playing high school football in the state playoffs tonight. That is your scoreboard.
The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
Can I give one quick bonus scoreboard?
Bonus
If
scoreboard.
you were a basketball fanatic and you did not see what Hannah Hidalgo did 2 nights ago for Notre Dame, poor Akron, poor Zips, man. She had 44 points, 9 rebounds, and 16 steals.
Yeah.
16. That's not a typo. In only 28 minutes of play. And if you're a basketball fan, go watch the highlights of Hannah Hidalgo 2 nights ago versus Akron. Unbelievable. One of the craziest highlight packages I've ever seen. She was just taking their cookies, Kelvin, all night long.
Hey, I said she was slacking, only 9 rebounds. She
So
was slacking, 5'6" and only 9 rebounds.
Come on. Yeah,
Just
she was
missed out on that triple-double.
smallest person on the court, too, with 9 rebounds, too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Great. Yeah, that was such a big deal that even our Becky Burke talked about it at her press conference.
Yeah, by the way,
the other
16
day.
steals is an all-time record for the NCAAs for any level. So
Yeah.
that's the most steals of all time in any game in only 28 minutes.
Shout out Hannah Hidalgo for that job there. Well done.
Guys,
Yeah.
do you know how competitive you have to be to steal the ball 16 times? That's no mercy.
Right.
That's no mercy.
Second half,
That's
she's
like, I
going
don't
in,
care
Kelly,
how
with
they
2
feel.
hands, ripping the ball away with 2 hands. Second half, when she's already got 11 steals.
That's a ridiculous competitor.
No question about that. Absolutely, she is. One competitor who will be back home tonight is Braden Burry. He's out of San Bernardino, California. Scored 44 points in the Open Division State Championship game for his high school to help Eleanor Roosevelt win the Open Division title last year. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year in California for 2025. Let's hear from Braden a little bit on his background in Southern California.
My dad and mom, they helped me a lot. You know, my dad played basketball. He's in the Hall of Fame, and he just helps me with the fundamentals. And then at a young age, he installed the winning mentality of not don't get comfortable with losing. And that that's helped me get to the point where I'm at today.
Yeah, Bobby Burry's his dad, a Hall of Famer at Cal State San Bernardino. His mom, Hannah Lowe, pitched a couple of seasons at the University of Tennessee in the Volunteers program. So the son of college student athletes for sure. Tommy Lloyd was asked if he had to talk to Braden Burry to calm him down about his first game back in Southern California.
Not really. I mean, Braden's played in a lot of big games, and like a lot of freshmen, he's figuring his way out in this deal right now too. But I have no doubts that he's going to be really, really successful. So, I mean, no stress on me. I'm sure he's, probably trying to figure it out and scratching his head. But that's a normal thing for any really talented young player. It just doesn't come easy.
Does not. He had 18 points in that game a couple of games ago against Utah Valley. And, these are going to be a lot of excitement for that young man coming into the game tonight in Los Angeles, especially playing in the new arena in his hometown where the Clippers play their home games. Let's find out if we can beat the book tonight.
Tucson, it's time to beat the book. Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the numbers and find out how you should bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Kelvin and J-Dub are 2-4 on the season. DK is 1-5, so everybody's under water when it comes to beating the book. We'll start this round with JW Madden. JW, Arizona -1.5.
Yeah, I really like the Cats tonight. I think they're playing really well as a team, and I'm not so sure UCLA has the depth to match up with Arizona. So I like Arizona by 5 or more.
5 or more, he says. I'm going to go with the Wildcats as well. I don't know if it's going to go that high. I think it'll be a tight game, as it always is. I would say under 5, but more than 2, which is the needed number. So I'll take the Wildcats minus the 1.5 points. Kelvin Ifan.
Yeah, I think the Cats are going to get these guys by 10 today. I just don't see a lot of offense there. I know they're going to slow it down. I know they're going to play tough, but I still think the Cats get them by 10.
154.5 is the line. That is 10 lower than what we had against Northern Arizona. Always is low when you play teams like UCLA and Houston. Under or over 154.5. We'll start this round with Kelvin.
I'm going under.
Under.
I'm going under. Yeah, Mick going to do everything he can to make sure that it's under.
Yeah, I believe so, too. I believe it's going to be a game in the, if anything, it'll get into the 70s, but I don't think much more than that.
Yeah, I mean, none of the last 4 games have gotten to that number, and there's a lot of NBA talent on those Bruins teams during that stretch. So, yeah, I think under as well.
All right, so everybody's taking the Wildcats, laying the 1.5 and taking the under 154. We'll find out if we can, at least 2 of us can get back to 500 tonight on the postgame show.
That is how you bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by ABC Heating and Cooling, Arizona Commercial Lighting, Blue Sky Pest Control, Broadway and Tucson's 20th anniversary season, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, The Injury Lawyers, Gospel Rescue Mission, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Shamrock Heating and Cooling, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Appliance Company, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed. Life well lived.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Rightway will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. Get 0% financing and no payments for 18 months. $3,000 trade-in for your old AC. 10-year parts and labor warranty. Plus a free system upgrade.
Have an aging heating and air system out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today. 520-201-8220.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going up, but when they drop, that's when the guidance of a professional is most important. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 or visit online at meridianwealthllc.com.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
From work to errands to family life, your car takes a beating. At Recon Auto Detailing, we don't just protect it, we maintain it.
They installed my ceramic coating in shop, and now their mobile team keeps it looking brand new, right in my driveway.
Ceramic coatings, PPF, tint, all installed professionally at Recon Auto Detailing. And with our mobile detailing, we keep that fresh, protected look mile after mile. One-stop shop, zero hassle, that's Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' Cay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' Cay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. November is here, and if you've got holiday travel plans or you're just trying to cross town through the crazy road construction, Jack Furrier has great news with our biggest rebates of the year. Get back $160 to $220 on all Michelin brand tires, including smooth riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. Check out jackfurriers.com for even more November specials. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the local choice with great service and 14 award-winning locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol. Now to December 28th, Club Soul members can strike it rich. Rush in for the $100,000 holiday gold rush. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
CD lost the handle, gets it back, feed it to Aristode, tries another three. Oh my goodness. Dwayne Aristode with his 5th three-pointer of the night. Alexis of Tucson Charity 3. 15 points for Aristode.
Dwayne Aristode hit 6 3-point shots on Tuesday night in the game against the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks, and he finished with 18 points to get a solid start to his college career, 3rd game, and becoming, again, just the 5th player all time to have 6 3-pointers in a game as a freshman at the University of Arizona. Let's learn a little bit more about Dwayne Aristode.
I came in, I believe, end of May, beginning of June. Wait, July comes first, right? July or June?
Yeah, June.
June. Yeah. So I came in June.
Are the months different in the Netherlands?
No, it's not. I just had to remind myself. Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure that. Obviously, you are from the Netherlands originally. When did you start playing basketball? What got you into the game, being from that country?
So I started playing at 4 years of age.
Wow.
My dad put the hoop in my hands. He used to play ball himself. So my favorite player is Michael Jordan. You know, he showed me a top 10 highlight clip of MJ. You know, was mesmerized by that. You know, ever since then I just fell in love. I knew I wanted to go to the NBA. You know, I never looked back.
So when you first saw that video of Michael Jordan, what memorized you about MJ?
The way he flies in the air, his air time. Not only that, just his mentality. You know, as I got older, I started learning more about his mentality. But, like, up front, you just see the way he's dunking. You know, as a little kid, that's the thing you look for. And, like, the highlight plays, you know, that just made me fall in love with him even more. The fadeaways, you know, the high shorts, the high socks, everything, just that whole era. I used to watch only that, even though I was a modern kid. I just watched that time era every time, you know. The Julius.
Is that your boy Mabil yelling down there?
Oh my God.
Is he the loud one of the freshman class?
He is. He's loud. Too much. He's doing too much. Yeah, I love him. Yeah.
Had you played with him at all before getting here?
Nah, I didn't.
No?
I didn't actually. Nah.
When you got to the United States, you came here for the final 2 years of high school. What was that process like in terms of your family deciding, hey, we want to send you to the United States? Was that a decision you said you went to them and said, I want to go to the United States and finish high school? How did that decision process work?
So it was me foremost. Also my dad. You know, we ultimately knew that, you know, in order to achieve my goal, I have to go through the States. And, you know, that was my dream. So, ultimately, I wanted to play college basketball and go to the league. But in order to play college basketball, you know, I needed to get adjusted to the pace and new style of playing, you know, over here. So, you know, we knew that I had to eventually come here, you know. Why not come 2 years earlier prior to college so I couldn't get adjusted, you know. That really helped me. So, yeah, I still had options to stay in Europe, but I had a lot of high schools reach out to me, top high schools, so I was not going to say no.
What did you initially notice about the difference in style here in the United States?
So I noticed the speed of the game, and just the flow. I think the flow is what was really different because I was saying Europe is a different type of game of basketball. You share the ball more systems. It's less space, but like more sharing of the ball. So here I had to learn like when can I take myself and when can I pass the ball and kind of intertwine between my style of playing Europe and create a new style over here. So it's just knowing when to do things and be decisive. Because a lot of times coaches being on my ass because I'm not shooting enough, because I keep passing the ball. So yeah, that. So it was probably the speed, the flow, athleticism. I knew obviously athleticism was going to be here in the all-time high, but that's never been a problem for me. So I think overall that and the mentality. You got some dogs over here, but I'm a dog myself. So yeah, just being the top dog over here. That was what it ultimately came down to.
How cool that your idol was Michael Jordan, Air Jordan.
Yes,
You've got Air in your last name, so should we be calling you Air Stowed or what's
Hey, that's a good one. Hey, I'm not going wrong with that. Yeah, we should. That's a good one.
Dwayne Air Stowed. Air Stowed is going to be, I will coin it right now. That's the nickname, Air Stowed.
That's today's Spotlight on a Cat. Brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet. Wildcats Radio 1290 Studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
Air Stowed. Dwayne Air Stowed. We appreciate the opportunity to chat with Dwayne. And again, he's like you said, coach has been on his ass to be a little bit more offensive. And we talked about that at the top of the show. He just needs to look for his opportunity to score, and he did that in the game against Northern Arizona. Will he have that same opportunity tonight against a much better defensive team? So what do you think, just based off what they saw in that one game, how do you think when he's out there that UCLA will try to guard him, guys?
I think that it's tough to try to isolate and try to man up on one guy versus Arizona because of the way that they move the ball. I think for sure they're going to try to close out fast on him to take away the shot, but it's going to be tough. He's one of those guys that catches the ball, and he's 6'6". Once he catches the ball and get it up high, man, it's tough to stop him from getting that shot. So you're going to have to deny him total almost face to keep him from getting the ball. But to me, the biggest thing is he has to stay aggressive. He has to shoot the ball when he gets opportunities and don't pass up shots.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for them to key on Dwayne Airstow with all the other firepower, and that's intended. I mean, that's the way that Coach Lloyd is going to try to set his teams up. Modern basketball requires 3, 4, or even 5 threats offensively on the court at all times. The days of having an enforcer who doesn't know how to play basketball but is just there to muscle you out under the basket, those days are over. And Dwayne Airstow, making 6 threes last game, he's on the scout, DK. The Bruins are screaming on the whiteboard, do not leave him open. However, what are you going to do? I mean, there's a lot of offensive talent on this team, so you can't take away defensive attention away from Mo Krivas, from Koa Pete, from Jaden Bradley, Del Orso. I mean, a lot of these guys on this team can make it go. So I think Aristotle just needs to set his feet, be ready for the ball, and just play good team basketball like he has been. I mean, taking all those threes at the end, to me, was just the young man feeling himself, feeling like he was hot, feeling in rhythm. His teammates were looking for him, but he's not going to be the kind of guy who's looking to take 6 threes. It's really a take what the defense kind of gives you situation at all times.
Our guy,
J-Dub,
go ahead.
I was going to add this. I was going to say, as a coach, you want a guy that you have to calm down, not that you have to, beg to pick it up and to go for it. So go for it, and I'll take you out when I need to.
Yeah. Do not pass up shots. Not in this offense.
Our guy, Fred Scheib, checks in from Jersey listening to the show tonight. He said if Toby Awak and Anthony Del Orso come off the bench, along with Dwayne Airstow, are Toby and Anthony the best 6th and 7th men in the conference? I mean, I don't know enough about the rest of the rosters to answer that question.
Best is so subjective to me, but as far as like, if you want to be specific, is Toby Awaka the best rebounder coming off of any bench in America? Yes. Yes, he is.
Yes. And and keeping it real, Del Orso is probably one of the best shooters.
Yeah,
coming
no
off the
doubt.
bench
No doubt.
in the nation.
So they are among the best in the country, definitely coming off as the 6th and 7th men for this Arizona
And coach says
Wildcats.
he has 7 or 8 starters, right?
Yeah, that's what he says.
Well, there you go.
That's what he says every single time. Our girl Amy Burton checks in as well. We mentioned the high school games. She wanted to throw out a Go Bolts for her Thunderbolts from Micah Mountain, who will be playing tonight in the high school state playoffs, the defending champions in Conference 4A. She also mentions that our guy Corey Williams is the analyst on the game between ASU and Gonzaga tonight.
What color bow tie is he wearing?
I don't know yet. I haven't turned. I guess I'll have to turn that on. They're on ESPN2, I think. I'll have to turn that on and see if we get a shot of Corey or see if he's posted it, because he's got a bow tie. That's how he rolls, for sure. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. We've got one segment left to go with you, and we'll give you your keys to the game and starting lineup here for a few more of the people. Jaden Bradley, we'll hear from him, as well as hear again from Dwayne Aristode before we get out of here today. Maybe even another cut or two from Tommy Lloyd as we take you down to 7:30 network coverage. Brody Dryden and Matt Muehlbach from the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. And again, don't forget, we will have post-game coverage, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, the post-game show for you right after the ball game, and then right back with you at 5:30 in the morning for our pregame show, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, as the Wildcat football team heads into Cincinnati to take on a Bearcat squad that has not lost at all this season at home at Nippert Stadium. Going to be a very difficult task, especially one considering the Wildcats are not going to have Tia Savea playing on that interior defensive line. Huge loss when you calculate or add that into a loss earlier this year of Trey Smith. That's two of your best defensive linemen who are not going to be playing down the stretch for the Arizona Wildcats, but they're going to have to find a way if they want to build on their 6-3 record and continue to march to what they hope will be a pretty solid bowl game coming up in December and or early January.
If they keep running the ball like they did in that last drive, Kelvin Efon's going to be a happy man.
Very, very happy.
And Marquise Groves-Killebrew is the other player. The only two players out this week. No one else is on the injury report. Just those two, Marquise Groves-Killebrew and Tia Savea. Groves-Killebrew, MGK, will miss his third consecutive game for the Wildcats. Final timeout. Come back, wrap things up. It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day on Wildcats Radio 1290.
The holidays are here, and so are the Red Tag savings on new Chevrolets at O'Reilly Chevrolet. We've got Red Tag inventory and pricing on the latest Silverado, Equinox, and Traverse models, and yes, we have inventory. Get Red Tag O'Reilly pricing on brand new Chevys and unwrap great holiday deals and unbeatable pricing all season long. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or shop 24/7 at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
At Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, we know your home is more than four walls. It's where family gathers and comfort matters most. During the month of November, with the purchase of a new HVAC system, we'll include a free water heater or take $1,000 off your installation. It's our way of helping keep your home cozy, efficient, and worry-free. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, where home wellness begins.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thana Nation.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future?
Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
At the Window Depot, builders and contractors don't wait weeks. You get what you need today. Factory direct windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, it's all in stock and ready to go at wholesale prices. Whether you're tackling a remodel or a multifamily project, we've got job site quantities and no membership required. Our windows are proudly manufactured and assembled in Arizona with small business service and big box selection. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Family outgrowing your car? Hughes Federal Credit Union can help you get the car you want and the rate you need. Hughes is one of the only financial institutions in the country that doesn't switch loan rates based on a qualified buyer's credit score. That means you get our one-rate guarantee regardless of your credit score. We promise. When it's time for your next new or used car, Hughes is here to take you further. Check out our low rates on hughesfcu.org/auto and apply today. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Get it for Del Orso. Runner down the lane. Bank no. Tip no. Second tip good by Coapete.
Coapete right there just playing volleyball, playing with himself above the rim on that easy offensive rebound. But Arizona, once again, length to side, just taking over this game.
8 points for Pete.
Coapete has been solid, a solid double-figure scorer in each of the first 3 games he has played for the University of Arizona, hoping to keep that up tonight. The McDonald's All-American as the Wildcats head into Los Angeles for a date with UCLA, the 115th meeting between these two teams. Coapete so far this season shooting 57% from the floor. He has made 18 of 24 free throws. He leads the team in free throws shot, and he's shooting 75% from the line. He has yet to take, because again, the one shot that looked like a 3 was actually a 2. He has yet to take a 3-point shot in this season. So we'll see if that if we begin to see that. But so far, 19 points and 6 rebounds. He's also dished out 11 assists in 3 ball games. So that's almost close to 4 assists per ball game for Coapete. So he's doing a lot of things in a lot of the different categories, as well as playing some pretty solid defense for the Arizona Wildcats through the first portion of his college
Real
career.
quick, Kelvin, how important is it that the most skilled potential guy on your team is also unselfish and a team-first guy?
Very, very important. I mean, just doing the things that he's good at. I mean, why worry about shooting threes when you can dominate people from 15 foot in? And you love to see guys with that type of maturity that understand their game. A lot of guys are trying to prove things to people, and some guys are just trying to come out and show you who they are. So that's what I feel about Pete, and I feel that his teammates could follow a guy like that, because you can see that he's just not out there trying to show what he got for the NBA. He's trying to win.
Tommy Lloyd this week said that in terms of his rotation, which he's kind of set on a strong 8, how that plays out depends a lot on what the referees are doing with their whistles.
I think a big part of our guys understanding that rotation is just, how do we handle, fouls early in the game? And, our guys are big and physical, and how's the game going to be called? Can our bigs get through that first media timeout without a foul? Can they get through their first run without a foul? Can our guards, get through that first media timeout without a foul? Because then, basically it becomes a math equation. Now you have 5 fouls for 36 minutes, 5 fouls for 30 minutes. And that impacts, your ability to play, more minutes over the course of a game.
So, again, it's interesting, Tommy Lloyd saying there, in terms of his big men, we've seen, obviously, Krivas got into foul trouble in the one game. You got to be able to defend that interior. We talked about how strong the interior is, but you got to be able to defend that interior without fouling.
Yeah, you have to. You get in foul trouble, that's easy free throws for the other team and getting their good shooters chances to get to the free throw line. And second, it makes for easy buckets around the rim because your bigs can't, be aggressive. You want your bigs to be able to be aggressive as the game goes on. But the good thing for the U of A, they are pretty deep inside.
Yeah, we just look at like Krivas and Awaka, 2 centers that are legit. And a lot of teams have one legit center these days. So having 10, fouls to go around for those 2. And as we mentioned in previous post games, Tobey's known for getting in there and mixing it up physically inside. However, he has the luxury of watching the way that the refs are calling games. And when he comes off, let's say potentially Moteus Krivas gets in a couple early fouls, then Tobey can come in and understand, Kelvin, a little bit about the way that the refs are calling it, like Tommy said right there, and adjust slightly. We still want him aggressive going after rebounds, but maybe not be as reachy with his hands on defense.
Arizona has, in this season so far, taken 5 3-point shots against Florida. They took 15 against Utah Tech. That number went up to 26 in the win over Northern Arizona. So the Wildcats have taken 46 on the season, made 20, shooting 44% from behind the arc. That's a good percentage to shoot for sure. But what is going to be the norm with this team? Is it going to be the 5? Is it going to be the 15? Is it going to be the 26? That's what Dwayne Aristote, who took 9 last time out, was asked.
Coach knows that we're a good shooting team. Just good looks and good rhythm shots. So whatever the number that might be, if coach is happy with it, and he trusts us, so whatever number.
You've been part of a couple other teams. How do you feel like the threes will mix in with this group?
It's just how teams are playing us. I feel like our first game versus Florida, they were kind of taking away the 3, and so we weren't forcing anything. And tonight y'all seen we're capable from 3. Dwayne got hot, and that's every night. Braden hit a couple, Deli hit a couple. So just depending on how teams are playing us, and we'll adjust.
Jaden Bradley also there on that 3-point shot question. What do you guys think is going to be the norm this season? You think what we saw kind of in that middle game, about 15 to 17 per game? I know Tommy had said, I think a couple weeks ago, he'd like to take more than 20. Is this going to be a plus 23-point shooting team every game?
I think 20. Coach said 20. Why not 20? I think he has the guys. You think Deli, what's that? Ivan, is that what we said?
Karchenkov, yeah. Ivan Karchenkov.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got several guys on this team that can get them up, and each one of those guys, you got to take at least 3 to 4 to know if you even got it, right? And you make 2 of those, you take another one. So, no, man, it's about getting the shots up when they're open. The inside is going to be packed. It's already packed because we got 2 big guys in the game at all time. So the only way to loosen it up is to be able to take shots from the perimeter.
Yeah, there's no doubt. This is an inside-out offense. It always will be under Coach Lloyd. When you talk about the bigs trying to score at the rim, the outside shot is there, guys, because you're doubling down. Mo Krivas got doubled the first time he touched the ball, less than a minute in the game last time out. If you're doubling down on the bigs, kickouts to 3-point shooters are there. I think that first game versus Florida, they played really straight up with their front line. Going forward, there aren't a lot of front lines that can match up with Arizona's. So you're going to see a lot of extra attention to the bigs, Koa, Mateus Krivas, Tobe Awaka when they get the ball near the rim. So a lot of doubles on the bigs lead to a lot of outside shots. Just got to knock down and take open looks because that's what keeps the defense honest.
All right, let's find out what we think the Wildcats need to do to win tonight.
Wildcats fans, what are the big keys for today's game? Our keys to the game are brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
All right, guys, I'm going to go back to one of the things we just talked about there, and that's the interior defense, because, again, you're going to be dealing with Tyler Bilodeau, who has scored, I think, almost 16 points a game in every game so far this season, and he's going to try to bang and get these guys into some early foul trouble, I think, tonight. So you got to be able to control Tyler Bilodeau in the middle. Don't allow him. Don't swat at him. Defend him well, but don't get yourself into that foul trouble that we talked about, because, again, if they want to try to get one or two of those guys out of the ball game, Tyler Bilodeau is the kind of guy that can do it. Also, we mentioned Donovan Dent earlier in the ball game. I think this is going to be an important defensive game for Jaden Bradley and guarding Donovan Dent. Donovan can shoot the three, and we have not seen necessarily a guard yet this season who can do that at a high level. So I think defending him out, getting out on him, and keeping him off that three-point line, making him uncomfortable, is going to be a big key for Jaden Bradley in this ball game tonight. Those are probably my two biggest keys in terms of the Wildcats winning this evening.
K-Rock?
My keys are, first, when you're playing a Cronin team, you're going to have to play 30 seconds on defense for sure. You got to lock down and stay down on defense. Don't get lost. Don't give up an easy back door. Don't get bored. You're going to have to really lock in and D up for 5. Frank Rollerheiser, the principal at Pueblo, texted me, and he said, we got to find out about the two wings. Are they able to play good enough defense? We know about Bradley. We know about the Corpede. We know about Krivas, but we got to find out about those wings, and I agree with him on that. I think we have to get in transition and try to get some easy buckets against this team before they get set defensively, because they're always pretty good defensively once they get set. So I would love to get out on the break and get some easy buckets. And then my last thing is you got to take care of the ball and don't give up easy transition buckets to a team that's tough for them to score. So don't give them any easy ones.
Yeah, mine are real easy. I know, real simple, excuse me. I think you got to out-rebound UCLA by at least 5 or 10. I think you got to dominate the paint, establish your position down there, show Coach Cronin and his team that Arizona's built for that, built to play tough interior basketball. Number 2, as always, you got to out-hustle the Bruins. That's what they're known for. You can't play for Cronin unless you're on the court. Your knees are all bruised up because you're going after every loose ball. I'd like to see the Cats get more steals, less turnovers tonight versus the Bruins. And thirdly, after what happened last year, 13-point lead with 10 minutes to go, end up losing a very low-scoring game, only scored 5 down the stretch. Don't let up. Keep that 13-point lead. Next time you get it, don't let the Bruins get back into it. Just play solid fundamental basketball. Keep what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And I think Arizona has all the pieces to be able to take down the Bruins tonight. Just got to play smart and play tougher than the Bruins do.
All right, that's what we think Arizona must do to knock off the 15th-ranked Bruins in Los Angeles.
Those are our keys for today's game. The keys to the game. Brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
All right, one guy we haven't talked about on the UCLA side of it is Sky Clark. He was probably my secondary choice for my pest of the game because he's a defensive style guy. But he's been playing. Let's hear from Sky Clark. He's been playing against Jaden Bradley for quite a long time.
It's honestly a huge benefit just to see where we're at as a team, and then obviously you want to get a win like that. They're a top 5 team right now, so that'll really boost us for sure.
What do you think about their backcourt specifically?
They have a really good backcourt. I've been playing against Jaden Bradley since like middle school, so I'm super familiar with him, and then I've heard a lot about Braden Burries as well.
There you go. 2 guys that have been going at each other since middle school will reunite tonight on an NBA hardcourt in Los Angeles. Let's get you your starting lineup.
The foundation of a great basketball team begins with the starting lineup. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature.
At one guard, it'll be Jaden Bradley. He is a 6'3" senior out of Rochester, New York, averaging 16 points and 5 assists. He's sitting on 980 career points, so Jaden with a 20 spot can go over 1,000 tonight. Braden Burries at another guard, 6'4" freshman out of San Bernardino, California, homecoming, 10 points and shooting 41%, I should say, from three-point land this season. The man in the middle is Moteas Krivas. He is 7'2" from Lithuania, 8 points and 6 rebounds from Mo Krivas. Your forwards, Koa Pete is a freshman out of Arizona, 19 points, 6 rebounds. Your other forward is Ivan Karchinkov out of Germany by way of Moscow, Russia, averaging 5 points and 5 rebounds so far on this early season. 5th-ranked Arizona, number 15 UCLA. It's coming up next from the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. For Kelvin Efon and JW Madden, I'm David Kelly. We'll talk to you after the game. Bear down, Arizona.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by ABC Heating and Cooling, Arizona Commercial Lighting, Blue Sky Pest Control, Broadway and Tucson's 20th anniversary season, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, The Injury Lawyers, Gospel Rescue Mission, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Shamrock Heating and Cooling, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Appliance Company, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Uh-oh, another plumbing disaster. Don't panic. Call the pros at Acclaimed Drain and Plumbing Solutions. From clogged drains to full-blown repipe repairs, our expert team is fast, getting repipes done in one day. Reliable, professional, and always ready 24/7. When water won't behave, Acclaimed saves the day. Call 520-200-1089 or visit acclaimed-drain.com. Acclaimed Drain and Plumbing Solutions. Trusted, local, acclaimed.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
At the Window Depot, builders and contractors don't wait weeks. You get what you need today. Factory direct windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, it's all in stock and ready to go at wholesale prices. Whether you're tackling a remodel or a multifamily project, we've got job site quantities and no membership required. Our windows are proudly manufactured and assembled in Arizona with small business service and big box selection. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast. So if you've been injured, make the right choice. First
Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. November is here, and if you've got holiday travel plans or you're just trying to cross town through the crazy road construction, Jack Furrier has great news with our biggest rebates of the year. Get back $160 to $220 on all Michelin brand tires, including smooth riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. Check out jackfurriers.com for even more November specials. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the local choice with great service and 14 award-winning locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Wildcat fans, where do you go when the final buzzer sounds? You don't head home. You head to Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies, Tucson's home court for great food, craft beer, and nonstop fun. At Roadies, you can bowl, throw an axe, play arcade games, or grab a burger while the next game plays on the massive screens. Then, catch the newest movies right next door at Roadhouse Cinemas with luxury recliners and full in-seat dining. Game days, movie nights, anytime. Make it a win at Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Rightway is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 11,000 five-star Google reviews, you can trust Rightway to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Rightway today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
Little jumper in the lane, rolls in for two, drives into the lane, to the bucket, and good. It's good with one on the shot, down to 5 seconds. That's it. Wildcats are headed to the Elite Eight on Saturday. Dreams can come true. Arizona has won the national championship.
When it comes to basketball, nothing beats Wildcat basketball. Stay tuned for the fast breaks, blocked shots, and big buckets as Arizona Sports Enterprises brings you University of Arizona Wildcat basketball.
Good evening and welcome to the City of Angels, where we've been treated to a chilly, rainy day leading up to today's rivalry matchup between the Arizona Wildcats and UCLA Bruins. I'm Brody Dryden alongside Matt Muehlbach, and we are filling in for Brian Jeffries and the usual crew for the night. Welcome to the Hughes Federal Credit Union Countdown to Tip-Off Show. Visit hughesfcu.org/Wildcats to learn why Arizona fans choose Hughes, insured by NCUA. We are live from the newest five-star basketball venue in the world, the Intuit Dome, which is the full-time host of the NBA's Los Angeles Clippers, but tonight they open their doors as the site of a much-anticipated Hall of Fame Series game between these two schools with a long, storied rivalry that's comprised of over 100 years of history. Both teams come into this one with 3-0 records and hope to keep their unbeaten streak alive, and it's early on in the year, but with a matchup like this, both teams in the top 15 in the rankings, you already start to think about potential postseason implications. It's time to write the next chapter of Arizona UCLA here in Los Angeles. And we'll continue our pregame coverage after this. It's Wildcat basketball from Arizona Sports Enterprises. Wildcat fans, the 2025-26 Arizona athletic season is in full swing, and tickets are on sale now. Come be a part of the best show in Tucson as your Arizona Wildcats tackle year 2 in the Big 12 and show the nation why this is Wildcat country. So bring a friend, wear the colors, and get your tickets today by calling the McHale Center ticket office at 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/tickets. Bear down.
Breakfast!
Mom, my jersey.
In the dryer.
Mom, have you seen my science project?
Front closet.
Hey, I'll run out and pick up your mom's...
Already got it.
Oh, nice.
All right, out the door in 3, 2, 1.
At Banner University Medicine, we're here to help you feel 100% so you can give 110.